There's no better feeling for a linebacker than making an open field tackle. Unless it's a turnover and a touchdown.
Ball is fumbled, it's in the air, it's on the ground, it's picked up by Kalmus, he's at the 10, to the 5, touchdown Oklahoma!
Today, Kansas State challenges Rocky Kalmus in the fierce Oklahoma defense. The Wildcats are rushing for more than 300 yards a game. And for balance, K-State features Aaron Lockett. Let the conference games begin. A gorgeous Saturday in Norman, Oklahoma. Welcome back, everybody, with Gary Danielson. I'm Brent Musburger. Gary, a couple of very inexperienced quarterbacks here today.
Yeah, you're right, Brent. And in this game with two great defenses, it's going to be tough for these quarterbacks to win it. They're going to need help, and there's plenty of help here at the running back position. For Kansas State, Josh Scobie is a guy. He gives them that power. He rushed for over 100 yards against Tennessee. And let's go to the national anthem.
Holding our American flag in the singing of the national anthem.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rockets red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave.
Remember this about the great fans in Oklahoma. They have been touched by acts of terrorism just up the road in Oklahoma City. Now back to our ball game between Kansas State and Oklahoma. Let's return to Josh Scobie. You were talking about him, Gary.
Now, Brent, he's a brilliant back, and he did it not just against weak competition. He did it against Tennessee in the bowl game, USC in the first game. Oklahoma has to zero in on that power. But Oklahoma has help, too. Quentin Griffin, this might be the shotgun, this might be the spread, but if you don't stop Quentin Griffin and all the different ways he gets the ball, you're not going to stop this great offense for Oklahoma.
So there are the two big running backs. A sellout crowd getting ready for Kansas State and Oklahoma. The kickoff is next.
Welcome back to Norman, Oklahoma. I'm Jack Arute, and earlier this week I had the opportunity to visit the K-State Wildcats on campus in Manhattan. And those two victories that you talked about, Brent Musburger, last year in the regular season and in the Big 12 championship have sat sideways for a very long time with that team. Now on camera, they said all the politically correct things. But off camera, you could tell that this was going to be a get-even opportunity.
Yep, the Sooners are on the field, Jack, and you bet K-State will be ready. There's quite a coaching connection, which many of you are already familiar with. Bob Stoops, who won a national championship in his second year, once was the defensive coordinator under Bill Snyder up in Manhattan, Kansas, before Stoops went down and worked for Steve Spurrier. And in 2+ years, Stoops is 23-5 with the Oklahoma Sooners. Kansas State won the toss. They have elected to defer, which means that Nate Hibble and the OU offense will have the first possession of this game. There will be a breeze blowing from behind the backs of Kansas State, and they will hope, of course, to bury the kickoff as deeply as they can in the end zone. Snyder is one of those coaches who stresses field position, and field position, and he will have the wind at his back here to start the first quarter. So we are just about set to go here. And Nate Hibble the junior transfer from Georgia, coming out. And Gary asked him what's important early here against K-State.
I think the number one key is to take care of the football. I mean, you know, that's one of our goals, is to limit turnovers, no turnovers. You know, I've got to be smart with the football. We've got to hang on to it.
So Hibble and the offense will have the ball first, and they'll be matched against the Kansas State defense. John McGraw, he's a walk-on from Manhattan, Kansas, and we asked the free safety about stopping OU's tremendous offense.
I think the most important thing that we can do, and what we learned from last year, is you've got to be assignment sound, and everyone's got to be on the same page, knowing the call, knowing what they need to do on every snap. Because of how they spread it out, one breakdown and they're out the gate.
Now when they get the ball, Bill Snyder's offensive philosophy at K-State is this.
We've never entered a ball game where we didn't feel like we wanted to have some balance in our offense. It doesn't always play out that way, and I think there comes a point in time in any ball game that you are provided some opportunities to do certain things, and certain opportunities are taken away from you.
Maybe the best prepared coach this side of, well, Dick Vermeil. Like Vermeil, one of the workaholics, and Travis Brown. Just a short time ago, Coach Snyder told our Jackaroot down on the field, it was about an hour ago actually, said, I'm not too sure what I'm going to do with the kicking yet. Remember, he sat Jared Bright down. Antoine Savage and Curtis Fagan are back deep for the Sooners, and we'll be underway. What a gorgeous day for football, except for that little breeze, which could affect the ball game. And there is Savage coming out from the end zone. Alley, 20. Down at the 25-yard line, and Nate Hibble will be working with this multi-talented look. Quentin Griffin will have to be a blitz control blocker today. I know he's short, but he's very compact, solid blocker. Look at the number of targets for Hibble, how they spread the ball around, and look how young they are. Josh Norman, the only senior in that group, behind Frank Romero, their All-American defensive tackle. And keep an eye, folks, on number 50, Vince Carter, the true freshman's first start. Josh Smith is out with an injury. That is a key focal point. And Carter right now has to identify always the middle linebacker. They leave it open, and even up front from the shotgun, and he completes his first pass, and it is out of bounds. Mark Clayton, and this is the Kansas State defense will be featured today. Newman delivered the hit over there on the corner. He's a sprinter. So Tank Reese, you'll see him in an odd front. He's a JUCO impact player, only 5'11". He will try to duel away with the new center for K-State. Ben Lieber, defensive ringleader, number 52, and we've already talked about John McGraw in the backfield and the first running play. And so it is third down as McGraw, whom we just talked about, comes up and makes that hit right now. This is third down.
So far, Brent, Kansas State has not put anyone over the center yet. Maybe they didn't know there was going to be a change at center. Let's see if Phil Bennett makes that adjustment.
Still not there. Now they walk the middle linebacker up on Carter, and he identifies him immediately. You can tell that's his responsibility. Now he backs out. They throw for the first down, almost intercepted. Derek Yates had a hand on the ball, the nickelback, and folks, that's 3 and out. Snyder, Bennett, and K-State have got to be ecstatic. They get the ball with the wind at their back immediately in the first quarter. Here's the talented Jeff Ferguson. He helped upset Florida State in that tremendous Orange Bowl, burying the Seminoles repeatedly inside the 10-yard line, and a very dangerous Aaron Lockett. Ferguson into this breeze. They blocked one of his punts a year ago in Manhattan, K-State did. Here comes the talented Lockett. Nothing doing. Great coverage downfield that time. Trent Smith, the tight end from Clinton, Oklahoma, rips him down. Now here is L. Roberson, and we asked him about the first series for K-State.
just to take everything slow. I mean, and just get a feel for the game and get a feel for what they're trying to do. I mean, and know their personnel and things like that. I mean, and just drive the ball down and score.
Matched against Rocky Calmus. Remember, they featured Josh Scobie. He grew up just down the highway in Oklahoma City. He's number 1. There's Roberson, number 3, moving in behind center. Play call from the sidelines. Snyder will try to settle the offense down. Here's Scobie on a little delay, and the Sooners were ready for their first play. Calmus in on his first stop of the game. And Calmus talked about defending the Wildcats here today.
They have many run games, and they do a lot of fold to get you out of your gap and out of position. And it's going to be key to reading the guards and seeing the pullers and watching the fullback's path to see what kind of run they're playing.
Scobie with no gain on first down. There is number 20. Was also a great high school fullback in Jinx, Oklahoma. And they're confused, the linebackers were. Here comes Scobie. You could see the linebackers jumping around late, and Jimmy Wilkerson, now a defensive end, makes the stop. The backs and receivers line up this way. You can see Scobie's average behind that squat, powerful Cartwright. Look at the huge target the tight end is. 6'7", you better believe. He'll be moving down the middle. And the offensive line, Eby has been a center, a tackle, and today a guard. So he certainly is the most versatile of the offensive linemen as they come up now and sit down trying to open holes. Now they've got a 3rd down and long. And they line up in the shotgun. OU shows blitz. They're coming. And they got the quarterback draw buried. It's 3 and out for K-State. Brandon Everidge, number 7, the safety.
Oklahoma comes with a 3-man line, but they blitz off it. They keep their linebackers in. Calmus blitzes, Lieber blitzes, Everidge blitzes. Bob Stoops giving this Kansas State defense a lot of different looks. Offense, excuse me, a lot of different looks.
So Travis Brown out of Overland Park, Kansas, stays in the punt. Fagan hoping to give OU field position on its 2nd possession. Low. Sideline return and yanked out of bounds at the 43-yard line. So we'll take a break. OU's ball next. Timeout. We are back, and in that punt exchange, Oklahoma picked up field position. They'll be near midfield. And that shows you just how talented, Gary, that Jeff Ferguson is into the win advantage Oklahoma.
He absolutely did. He hit a boomer into it, and it is a strong wind. The wind is going from your TV set this direction, right into the face of Oklahoma there.
Toss play to Griffin. They try to get the corner. Nothing doing. Fierce tackling by Kansas State. Josh Buell, the linebacker. Now it's time for Dodge Game Solutions.
Well, Brent, to win this game, of course, you got to have play from your quarterback. If one of your quarterbacks have a terrible game, and we'll look at that comparison throughout, going to be a tough time to win. The tailbacks have to produce yardage. That'll make it easy for those receivers. And then the kicking game. In this game, 2 great coaches, 2 great defenses. You can't give an edge to the other team in the kicking game.
2nd down and 10.
No safety deep at all. Everybody within 5 yards of the line of scrimmage.
Looking underneath, incomplete. And that was outstanding coverage that time by Ben Lieber, the senior linebacker from Vermillion, South Dakota. He did an outstanding job of sticking with the receiver, Quentin Griffin, coming out of the backfield. And we all know how talented Griffin is as a receiver. He's a leading receiver for OU.
Lieber's right here. He's got his eyes on that guy right there. That's Quentin Griffin. That's his job. Take away the easy throws. Look at that. Got him all over. He actually even has them bracketed right there. And then he grabs him
and
grabs him with the jersey. That counts. Yes, you can do that.
Zazier in for a sport coat. 3rd down and 10. And again, the safeties press the line of scrimmage.
And he splits one of them.
That's going to be out of bounds and picked off. What a great catch by Newman, the speedster from Salina, Kansas. The junior picked it off. The receiver was out of bounds, and Newman stuck with it, and we've got our first turnover.
It's really a poor job by the receiver this time. I think it was Woolfolk. Left the corner, really beat him to the spot. Hibble's throwing his ball up. He's depending on the receiver to get position. Look at this. Cuts him right off. Woolfolk, Newman makes the play, and Newman, who scored a touchdown on a kick block punt last year, scores first in this game with a big interception.
So Oklahoma without a first down in its first 2 possessions of the game. Now Roberson and Kansas State will try it again off a play fake. Time. The middle is open. There is a penalty flag down. The gain was about 9 yards, throwing to Scobie out of the backfield, but there is a penalty marker. This defense here at Oklahoma this year, led by Rocky Kalmus, is as good as we have seen. Granted, it is early in the year, and the penalty goes against K-State would bring it back. But let's meet this OU defense. Snyder getting an explanation there as to what went on. But here is Tommy Harris, recruited out of Texas. Folks, he's a leading candidate for the freshman defensive player of the year, 97. You can see how tall he is, that tall frame. Unbelievable for a freshman to step in at defensive tackle and pick up the way he has. We've already talked about Kalmus, one of the inside linebackers. And so he leads that trio there. Roberson, after the penalty is backed up, and on a check with me, he changes it with the clock running down. Snap on 1 second. Fumble! Williams! Touchdown, Oklahoma! Roy Williams, the safety, scoops it up and dashes into the end zone. Folks, if the offense can't do it, the defense will.
It was a check with me. The back went to the right. The quarterback went to the left. The quarterback, Roberson, turns the pitch. Disaster.
Tim Duncan, the left-footed kicker, makes it 7-0. And Roberson and the K-State offense are under the gun. Take a look at what Gary told you. And that leaves the defender uncovered. Roberson, the only player moving to the left. And OU makes him pay for that mistake. Timeout.
Here's exactly what happened. Roberson's ready to snap the ball. He sees something. He taps the center. He goes one way. Look at Josh Scobie come up to listen. He goes the other way. Everybody hears the play. I suspect Roberson went the wrong way. Everybody else goes to the right. Roberson goes to the left. Quarterback makes a mental mistake early in the game. Can't make it.
Duncan's kickoff, fielded at the 1 by Lockett. Lockett has returned 1 for a touchdown this year, trying to get a burst. Pushed out of bounds as he was stepping out at the 25-yard line. And Lockett, he's a chatterbox. He'll be jabbering away down there on the field. And a reminder that coming up next, some good action for you. Notre Dame against Texas A&M. What a fierce setting that is in Aggie land. Illinois, Michigan, Big Ten. Clemson, Georgia Tech, ACC. So great action coming up next right here on ABC for you.
I would not say, Brent, that crowd noise affected that play at all. It's mildly loud here, but everybody heard the play. Quarterback blew the play.
Might blame the crowd, like I said, down in Aggie land, but not here. Now Roberson's under center with the eye. Snyder faces some tough decisions here, and there's movement on the left side of the offensive line. So the mistakes mounting against the K-State offense. Now, again, we talked about Tommy Harris. We got Heineke, Klein, and Wilkerson up front. The linebackers, Kalmus, he is the ringleader of them. But take a look at the rest of them, folks. Teddy Lehman for a linebacker. In the Oklahoma High School 100 meters, he was in second place. And we'll see all 5 in the defensive backfield. And Andre Woolfolk is 6'2". You imagine how much the NFL would pay in bonus dollars to a 6'2" corner. Here's a quarterback draw, and OU has jumped all over Roberson. That's average again. The Oklahoma defense strikes first here at Owen Field. And the unbeaten Sooners, who have won 16 in a row, with the quarterback making a mistake. The ball is scooped up by Williams and dashes in. It was Jimmy Wilkerson who had been moved to that defensive end spot, who jumped on Roberson coming down the line, and it was an 18-yard, officially an 18-yard touchdown for Williams. On second down, they come back to Scobie. Powerful run and well blocked, and Jack, that touchdown was a gimme.
Indeed it was, Brent, and it made co-defensive coordinators Brent Venables and Mike Stoops smile wide smiles. Why? Because all week they urged the OU fans to get off their hands. These fans have been criticized in the past for not cheering loud enough. They said, you've got to make it so loud that this team cannot do those check with knees and audibles. So far, they're doing a great job.
On third down, Roberson getting time, dropped, and that's what plagued them last year.
Absolutely. That was a great throw. One of the receivers, somebody has to help their quarterback out now. He made a bad play. Good call here, a perfect play, and Brandon Clark had to come through.
And last year, let's take you back to Manhattan, Kansas. Lockett had catchable balls on 3 occasions, a little too short on that one. Then dropped one in center field. And then the third one.
Third one happened in the end zone. Remember that one? I remember.
Travis Brown's punt. Bounces inside the 20. There's a beauty with the wind at his back, and that's what he wanted the first time. This time he buries OU inside the 15-yard line on a 63-yard punt. There was the third pass that Lockett couldn't get a handle on in the end zone. So now we've had Clark drop one, and the dropsies continue. Timeout. Settling in for a defensive war. We haven't had a first down in this game. We've had more touchdowns than first downs. And the touchdown, of course, scored by the OU defense. Now here's the third series with number 8, Nate Hibble from Hazelhurst, Georgia. Back in the shotgun, and it is stopped by the officials prior to the snap. Big 12 officiating crew. The timeout has been called. Randy Crystal signals it, and there were 12 defensive players on the field. So another K-State mistake. An ABC Sports presentation of college football is brought to you by Dodge. You can take life as it comes, or you can grab life by the horns. Dodge. Budweiser, with that crisp, clean, refreshing taste you find in no other beer. And Morgan Stanley, formerly Morgan Stanley Dean Witter. Move your money, get well connected.
The last timeout by Kansas State is a little more understandable of a mistake. Phil Bennett, defensive coordinator, especially on a change of possession, is trying to keep 12 or 13 players on the field and then match up as Oklahoma comes out. Look, there's the huddle right there. And as Phil Bennett watches, he's trying to match up personnel. As you see right there, standing up Duron Tyler, he's another corner right there. Derek Yates, another safety, is trying to know whether they got 2 tight ends, 5 wide receivers, or what. So that's a little chess game that's going on between Mark Mangino and Phil Bennett. Offensive coordinator or defensive coordinator of the two teams.
New running back for OU. Ronaldo works as Mangino looks on, having called the play. He'll be in there with Griffin. Split backs and that inside handoff to Works. Now Works was demoted on the depth chart behind Jared Estes this week, but obviously He moved back up, and what are the offensive priorities?
Well,
here?
you know, Brent, these two teams are so different this year. Kansas State runs the whole gamut. Power, option, finesse with the draws and the screens, the play action. And the last thing they want to do is throw the ball from the pocket. But look at Oklahoma. Don't even have a power game. Don't even have an option game. They want to finesse you first, pocket pass second, and then maybe a little play action.
Kansas State is really stuffing OU on first down here today.
Well, everybody in your picture is within 4 yards of the line of scrimmage. No safety behind them.
Hibble's going to have to open it up with his right arm. He's going to lob one incomplete, and a penalty flag is thrown by the field judge on the play. As receiver was trying to get free, there was a penalty flag thrown.
Yeah, I think Kansas State was holding on that play. I think they were holding on Fagan.
So there's our first down of the game, and it comes via a penalty.
Quentin Griffin has not been without a shadow through the whole game. When he goes wide, a safety or a linebacker goes with him. When he runs a little fake draw, the linebacker stays right in the box and shadows him the whole time. It's Lieber who looks like he has the assignment so far.
Here's what K-State is saying. Nate Hibble, you're going to have to prove that you're as good as Josh Heupel, because we're going to come and try to take this run game away from you. The ball is spotted at the 23-yard line. So Hibble fires high, complete. And that is a first down to the 40-yard line as Curtis Fagan catches the pass.
Very simple pass route. Receiver runs the dig route, coming squaring in right here. Coming right across the field, man-to-man coverage. He's got to match up against Fagan's. Guy goes in motion the other direction.
That's pretty good backwards running.
I know. We got a reverse on this camera. There he goes, comes in motion, stops, and then runs the route across the field. Square in, very simple.
17-yard gain, so now a penalty and a pass. Back-to-back first downs for the Sooners. Griffin switches over to the left-hand side of Hibble. What a blocker Romero is. Incomplete. Ball was thrown high to Mark Clayton out of Arlington, Texas, redshirt freshman.
Nate Hibble has to take what the defense is giving to him right now. The defense is giving the receivers in the flat. They're trying to bracket those guys over the middle and in the curl area. Nate Hibble has to talk to Chuck Long, the passing coordinator and the quarterback coach. Chuck has to tell him, Nate, be patient, take what they're giving you.
Hibble starts out only 2 of 6. 21 yards, facing a 2nd and 10, ball on the 40-yard line. Griffin, nothing doing. This will be 3rd and long. And again, K-State stuffing that run game. Lieber, one of the defenders, along with Henry Bryant out of Boca Raton, Florida.
Phil Bennett, defensive coordinator, is gambling here. He's trying to move the guys up. You said it, Brent. You're exactly right. He's saying, Nate Hibble, we don't believe you can beat us. They're not blitzing a lot yet, but they're crowding the line of scrimmage. There is some deep passes available. Splitting, the post route is available right down the middle of the field. He can go deep.
They've got to get that good tight end, Trent Smith, loose down there in center field. 3rd and 9 before the snap.
Yeah, Frank Romero that time was leaning back in his stance.
Bob Stoops settling in for what looks like a defensive war here today against his former employer. Bill Snyder's defense standing up, and remember, they made it awfully tough on USC in their opener. They gave them only 1 touchdown, and there was a missed extra point. It was a rushing touchdown. They haven't given up a passing touchdown in a couple of games. They crawled all over New Mexico State. Now the Sooners will flood the field and put the tight end on the right side and try to get something going in center field. 3rd down and long. Looking to trip. Got a man open. Got it. Touchdown, Oklahoma. Antoine Savage, 63 yards, but hold on. The referee has a penalty flag back at the 26-yard line. Personal foul, roughing the passer, touchdown OU.
I told you the post was there. Kansas State is playing man-to-man coverage. That was 3rd and 14, and they had no safety in the middle of the field. Chuck Long saw it. Nate Hibble threw it up, a good long passer, and he gets 6 points to Savage.
Let's go back to what you just said, because Chuck Long and Mangino emphasized that Hibble is a very good long passer, and he shows it over and over in practice. And so it was easy to have Hibble go back there and launch one. And in talking to Bob Stoops, he listed Savage as one of the best go-to receivers he's got. He said they're all fairly equal. And Chuck Long upstairs sends the play down.
Well, we asked him about Savage. What does he give him? He said big plays. Well, there's a big play right there.
Extra point. Tim Duncan.
This is really an easy read for the quarterback. You look up, you see nobody in center field. It really doesn't take a lot of expertise to lob the ball right down the middle of the field and let Savage run underneath it. Hibble, split screen, right down the middle of the field. It's an easy throw this time. One receiver goes out. Look at as coming across late, Deron Tyler, who was bluffing a blitz, comes to it, just lob it. Your guy gets it or no one gets it. That's a no-brainer for a quarterback. Chuck Long is saying, thank you very much. Look at this. Nobody back here. The only guy back there is the back judge. Hibble says, thank you very much. I don't have to be very smart to throw this one. Loft it up.
Pretty play. Yeah, Savage for the touchdown. 63 yards on 3rd and 13. And heats on the K-State offense now. Duncan, ball on the tee. They're determined not to lock it out. Fine kickoff into the wind. Short of the 20-yard line. Daniel, and we check in with Jackaroo.
Brett, there you're looking at the Golden Diamond number #1 ring, the national championship ring that every Oklahoma Sooner player and coach received for their win in the FedEx Orange Bowl. But if you look, none of them wear them. As a team, they decided to put them in their box, keep them there, because they say they want a matching one at the end of this season.
Roberson back under center, and this time he's down 14 points. Keeps it himself. Long little run out to the 23-yard line. Well, you know, we asked Stoops, how do you beat Kansas State? And here's what Coach had to say.
You've got to play physical with them. You have to be tough. You have to play with discipline and responsibilities, and you have to play well in the kicking game.
And you might add intelligence in the offensive game. Chuck Long and Mark Mangino, along with Nate Hibble with that long touchdown pass. Here's Roberson, the quarterback keeper. Outstanding runner. Breaks free down at the 40-yard line.
Mike Stoops and Brent Venables said every play they have a quarterback keep off of it. This time, you see it, there's Harris right there, number 97, the nose tackle. Fake to the fullback, Cartwright, and then follow right behind him. This guy, L. Robeson, rushed for over 100 yards against USC. The first quarterback to do it since the Big 12 championship in 1998. Kansas State.
16 on that play. Moves it near the 40-yard line. Play fake Roberson. Stands in on the rush, throws a lollipop, incomplete. Hit on the release, and Kalmus in on the quarterback.
Mental mistake by Roberson that time. Fullback was wide open right away. He's the #1 player. You've got a linebacker like Kalmus who's very aggressive. Actually, Kalmus blew his assignment on this one. He had the fullback. He ends up getting the knockdown on the quarterback. Fullback was 20 yards open in the flat. Linebacker to that side is the third man out. That's the fullback.
They might have been crossing Lehman with him, Gary, that time with Lehman's speed. 2nd down and 10. Here's Roberson. High. Got it at midfield, and a penalty flag is down. I wonder if there wasn't a face mask reach in on that. 1st down inside the 45-yard line. Aaron Luckadoo grew up in Tulsa, Oklahoma, makes the grab.
You can see Roberson's got a good arm. That time it was well run by Lockett. He went past the 1st down line marker and turned around, and Roberson put it right on the numbers.
It's a 19-yard gain if it stands. He was going to pick the flag up, and then he threw it back down.
Yeah, I'm not sure. I thought maybe the receivers were so close together they might have called offensive pass interference on that one.
Pass interference on the offense.
Oh, my.
That's what I thought happened. The 2 receivers right here go, watch, right at the end of this play, they cross right at the, there's a jam downfield. Boy, I don't know about that one. I don't know. He got taken on by Everidge. That's just a really bad call.
That's a horrible call.
And that's a 1st down play, and look at the difference in yardage.
What was he looking at?
Everidge jammed the receiver. I saw those 2 guys collide, and that's where the flag came out. Bad call so far. Kansas State, huge, almost 25-yard difference in field position and a 1st down.
That's 4 penalties against K-State now for 35 yards. They're already down 14 points. Now facing a 2nd and 25, and I'm sort of wondering why Snyder didn't get upset over there on the sideline. It happened basically right in front of their bench. Roberson keeps, I want to take another look at this. Now watch and see if the safety doesn't come up like Gary pointed out. Yes, absolutely. He jams him.
Everidge, the safety, who's not a cover man, kind of takes on. You know, when the receiver ducked his head that time, I think that's what the referee saw. And that's what he called. But he caught it out of the side of his eye that time, and he did not make the proper call.
3rd down and 21. Hard to blow a call that happens right in front of you like that. My, that was a bad one. 3rd down, Tommy Harris. Roberson dances free. Out of bounds and incomplete. There's number 7 again, folks. Remember his name, Brandon Everidge, out of Granger, Texas.
Everidge had a lot of those tackles against Air Force, but he's a great one coming up and filling.
Someday he'll be playing on Monday night. And this Monday it'll be the New York Jets. They're undefeated, I'm told, in their last 4 appearances on Monday Night Football. And they'll play the San Francisco 49ers. Jeff Garcia is slowly becoming one of the better quarterbacks in the NFL. Travis Brown back to punt. Here's Brown. Fielded at the 33-yard line. Sideline and out of bounds that time. Curtis Fagan, the wideout.
Again, great field position because of good defense and that penalty.
Let's check in with New York and John Saunders.
Brent, it's time for the Coors Light update. Michigan State facing Northwestern. Zach Kustok, nice touch on this ball to Kunle Patrick. 22 yards as he hauls it in the end zone. And right now, Northwestern are leading 14-7. Brent.
Wide open early, and wonder, Gary, if Simmons is able to play a wide receiver for the Wildcats. He underwent finger surgery as OU comes out here. 1st and 10 from the 46-yard line. Got protection, fires, complete inside the 40-yard line. Fagan.
This is almost a no-read game for Hibble. He knows what he's getting every time. It's man-to-man coverage. Coming out, coming to the sideline, nobody out there. This is like one-on-one in practice. Just throw the ball. Fagans tries to go for the interception. He's very fortunate that that guy, Fagan, did not stay up because that could have been a touchdown if he keeps his feet. No safeties. There's no one deeper than 5 yards.
Hibble is 4 of 8 for 99 yards. Griffin inside the 35-yard line.
And I think the game plan is to stop Quentin Griffin. Now, to stop Quentin Griffin, they're giving up the possibility of the big plays. Hibble has come through. Those great receivers for Oklahoma are tough to match up. And so far, Kansas State cannot match up.
It's a 2-touchdown difference already, and there's 2:15 left in the first quarter. K-State badly needs a stop. Hibble again. High, incomplete. The tight end Smith was the intended target that time, and Milton Proctor, the safety from St. Louis, was the defender. Justin Montgomery putting pretty good heat on that time for the Wildcats.
Quentin Griffin right here. Watch him come up and take on the blitz. He's not big, but the coaches said he will come up and stick you. Look at that. Coming up and taking on the linebacker Buell that time. That's a good job from the little scat back.
Stuck right with him, too.
Absolutely.
Very powerful lower body legs when you look at Griffin during practice. This is 3rd down and 5 for the Sooners. Hit on the release, end zone, incomplete, and he was hit by Ben Lieber, the linebacker, on the release, and that threw him off.
Tried to get the ball deep on the post again. It's so inviting. Smith is just over here. He's going to come right down right there, and Lieber's going to come inside to get the hit inside. Number 52 comes around the corner. He's spying a bit, but it takes so long for Hibble to throw the ball. He has a chance to get a hit on the quarterback. The big tight end couldn't get to it.
Big field goal attempt coming up for Timmy Duncan. 52 yards against the breeze. The backup quarterback, Jason White's the holder. And the clock ran down, I believe.
Delay on the offense. 5-yard penalty. Remains 4th down.
Rather than a 57-yarder, I would expect them to punt now.
I think you go with the punt game now. I think you might have wanted to go with the punt anyway in that situation.
Well, he might have been telling Duncan to punt it.
Yeah, I think they might have had a
direct
gimmick
snap
on.
and let him try to drop it inside. Now they'll go ahead and send Ferguson out on the field. So here's number 83.
You're going to get a lot of stops when you play 11-man near the line of scrimmage, but you're going to give up big plays. So Kansas State must score some points because they can't stand up defense all game and stop this passing game.
Well, in the last series, Roberson looked awfully good as a runner, didn't he? Aiming for the corner, the bounce, the spin, in the end zone and coming out on the 20-yard line. Gunner just couldn't quite get there, and we check in with Jackaroo. Jack?
Well, Gary Danielson, I know when you played professional ball, you probably didn't have a playbook this thick. But indeed, that's the size of the playbook that the Kansas State Wildcats have to look at week in and week out. Now, how does it compare to Manhattan, Kansas? Well, here's the phone book for Manhattan. No comparison at all, at least in my estimation.
Jack, the last time you did that, you got Ron Hudson in trouble because Snyder called him into the office and said, "What's Jackaroo doing with my playbook over there?" He said, "Coach, come on, that's an empty notebook. He just measured the size."
Kansas State is unbalanced this way. They like to run the option to the top of the screen.
Option nothing doing for number 3 as he tries to move down the line. There's big number 97, huh? What a pickup he was. You know how much Mac Brown and the Texas Longhorns wanted that youngster? Oh, my. They lost their 2 very outstanding defensive tackles. Texas and OU next Saturday in Dallas, folks. Don't miss that one.
Yeah, inside, when you're running an option, you're expecting that defensive tackle to be blocked. This time, Nick Leckie, number 53, the backside guard, didn't cut off that guy. But that's a tough assignment to cut him off. Lined up right over the center all day. There's the matchup.
Here's 2nd down. Now Roberson fires. He does have a nice arm. Gary, you're exactly right on the far side. Short of the first down over there, and Straight makes the stop on Aaron Lockett. They do have a passing whiz out of Ricks, Idaho, a junior college out there, Mark Dunn. He's their backup quarterback, number 5. When we were at the Air Force Academy for that game against Oklahoma, the JV team had played against Ricks and Dunn He hit him with 8 touchdown passes that day. And the young coaches at the Air Force Academy told us that he possesses one of the finest arms they've ever run into. So don't be surprised if sooner or later, especially if this score holds, that we don't see Dunn winging the ball, because Roberson's strength appears to be this, just keeping the ball, and he is short, I believe, of the first down down there.
Well, L. Roberson will continue to get better. Look at the difference from Roberson and when Bishop or Beasley was there.
Gary.
Yes, he got the first down on the option. But the difference in his game is Bishop, his first game in 1997 was against Northern Illinois. Beasley's first game in 99 was against Temple. First game for L. Roberson, USC. That's a big step up, and he has not got the reps in the game that he needs to get that arm going.
First and 10. Pitch to his running back out to the 38-yard line. Rock Cartwright, the fullback, lined up back there and carried that time. So ABC Sports presentation of college football returns after this message and a word from our ABC stations. And we're back for the second quarter. Oklahoma 14, Kansas State nothing. A Big 12 conference game.
You know who hasn't been a factor so far in this game? Rock Cartwright, the big fullback. He usually is running the ISO plays. He's usually hitting linebackers. So far, his name has only been called on the one option play when he ran it. They have to get him involved running the power game inside to get Josh Scobie those yards.
Roberson 1 of 4 passing for 8 yards, but he's their leading rusher. He's rushed for 21 yards. Now on second down, got a man wide open. 35 inside the 30-yard line. Brandon Clark, who dropped a pass earlier for 33 yards, and it was blown coverage by OU that time.
What a beautiful play off the option play that they've been running so well. This is the balance that Bill Snyder's going to try to get. You come down on the option, come this way, and then your slot guy sneaks right back in there. Watch the option. Come down a few steps, then come out and crease it right there. Beautiful throw, beautifully designed play.
Best field position of the day. Can Kansas State cash in? Roberson on a late pitch and a penalty flag. Scobie for the end zone. Touchdown, but there's yellow flags all over the place on that one. One back by the line of scrimmage and one thrown downfield.
Remember, wide receivers cannot go inside and crack back. That's usually what happens on one of those calls.
Well, Kansas State's already been hit 4 times for 35 yards in penalties here.
The option play was perfectly executed by the quarterback and running backs.
There's 2 fouls on the play. Both of them are holding. The hold that occurred behind the line will be enforced from the previous spot. 10-yard penalty, replay first down.
So another penalty against Snyder. I thought they changed that rule. It was from the line of scrimmage.
It is from the line of scrimmage. I bet it was on 97 because the backside guard is going to try to cut him off on this play. Let's see if it happens. Harris gets into the backfield. New center Steve Washington grabs him, tackles him. Both really not necessary on that option play that time.
So it's first down and 20. The touchdown call back. And Roberson in deep trouble. Wrapped up by Barry Holyman, number 99 from Oklahoma City. Well, folks, especially Sooner fans, time for the Aflac trivia question. Which Oklahoma All-American rushed for 294 yards in a single game against K-State? Billy Sims, Joe Washington, Greg Pruitt, or Joe Don Looney?
Oh, nice.
It is the single game record here at Oklahoma, folks.
See, if I was playing Who Wants to Be a Millionaire, I would see that Joe Don Looney just sticking out like a big blinking sign right there.
Want a lifeline? Second down and 24.
Yeah, can you find him, Joe Donaloni?
They're on second down. Roberson blocked, juggled, incomplete, and Harris almost had an interception. So the OU defense puts the Sooners on the board first here in Norman, Oklahoma on a beautiful Saturday. And then the second touchdown. It was Nate Hibble on 3rd and 13, hitting Antoine Savage 63 yards, and the career long for Nate Hibble results in a 14-0 lead, and that's where we stand here in a Big 12 conference opener. Roberson trying to drive K-State, and the coaches trying to urge the crowd here at Owen Field, and with the clock running down, K-State needs a timeout. They'll have to talk about it. 25-second clock was running down, and we'll take a timeout. Third down and 24. And folks, the 1st and 10 line is brought to you this quarter by Pontiac. Well, there's a long way down there, ladies and gentlemen. There's a lot of green between that and the old first down on this third down play. Ball back on the 43-yard line, trips to the left. Roberson needs that big play. Lockett the go-to guys, 22. Roberson will dash in that direction and look for an open man. Got him short of the first down, but it was a beautiful play. They missed the first down by just about a yard on that play. And Roberson hit Brandon Clark for the second time today.
It's called a dash to the left. The quarterback will set up, and it's a predetermined scramble to the left. Receiver goes down and hooks up. This is a design dash to the outside of the field. Give the quarterback time, and he hooks up to Clark right there to give him a chance to go on 4th down here.
They're going to go, and don't bet against the option look. Late defensive substitution for OU, and I believe they want to talk about it. Timeout has been called by the Oklahoma defense. They did not want to let K-State jump them in a hurry. Mike says, we want a timeout. Well, we are back for 4th and 1 for the Kansas State Wildcats. They trail OU by a couple of touchdowns. So they need to convert here for the first time. Huge, huge play for Kansas State right now. Roberson, he's run for 17 yards. Looking at that option, there's the pitch, and there's Scobie for the first down. 50, out of bounds. Inside the 10-yard line, Everidge in pursuit. They took it outside with Josh Scobie.
See, Scobie has that great speed. You get him on the corner like that with the option play. That was so easy. It was unbelievable that time. You will see more and more options as it comes. Balanced formation, 2 tight ends just come out to the right side. Option on the last man on the line of scrimmage. Pitch the ball. You got the fullback leading, and the speed doesn't allow the outside guy to get to the play.
Here's 1st and goal. Back with Scobie, runs for the touchdown. K-State on the scoreboard. A 7-yard touchdown run by Josh Scobie from Oklahoma City. And how good does that make this offense feel? That big 3rd down pass put up by L. Roberson to Brandon Clark, the key play in this drive.
Coming back, they scored on the touchdown, had it called back. You talking about keeping your poise, finding that big playbook that Jack showed us, and coming out with something on that dash play, putting this game back to anybody's ball.
Altvater is the kicker. Kyle Altvater adds the extra point. And folks, just when K-State needed it most, L. Roberson and the offense get it for him.
Yeah, power right here. Here's Cartwright. Watch this. Rock. Just follow that guy. This is power left. Turn it out. Let it go. Follow the big guy. He seals it off. Not going to catch him around the corner. Scobie. Power. Speed.
Nick Hoheisel, the fullback, also helped out. They had two fullbacks in there. Jack Arute.
Well, Brent, Josh Scobie has some pretty simple goals. When he was asked what he wanted to accomplish in 2001, he said, number one, I want 25 carries a game. So far in the first two games, he's had close to 25 in the first, and he's had 16 in the second. He said he wanted 1,000 career rushing yards. Well, after that touchdown, he certainly surpassed that. And he says we want to win a national championship. 2 down, 1 to go. This game will go a long way in determining if the Wildcats and Scobie meet that third goal.
Well, Jack, they are right back in the thick of things here. That was a heck of a drive. Travis Brown's been handling the kickoffs into the breeze, and this will be returned from the 4-yard line by Savage, who has 163-yard touchdown today. Dances out of bounds at the 36-yard line. Good field position for Hibble and the OU attack right now. Well, earlier we asked you the Aflac trivia question. Which Oklahoma All-American rushed for 294 yards in a single game? Do you like Sims, Washington, Pruitt, or Joe Don Looney? Well, here's the answer, folks. October 23rd, 1971. The man with the gold tooth. Circle that tooth, Mr. Danielson.
Right there, right side. You can see it.
Greg Pruitt. He was a great one. He finished third, and he finished second in successive years for the Heisman Trophy. Great running back. Here comes that old end-around look in K-State. Ready for it, and they eat it up. At the 29-yard line, Fagan on the end around, and Williams, Melvin Williams from St. Louis, along with Tank Reese, blow it up, and Mark Mangino's end around doesn't work.
Brent, you remember the Air Force game when Mangino said, you know what, they're not giving us...
Oklahoma, no penalty yardage, first warning.
We spoke with him yesterday. He said, you know, Air Force just backed everybody off. They challenged us to run, and I just said I'm going to start running the ball. Well, today, Mark Mangino's going to find out that Kansas State is not going to let them run any of those gimmick plays. Those quick screens, those little shovel passes, Quentin, they need to throw the ball and keep throwing the ball. They might have to throw it 60 times today.
He's a terrific football coach, Mangino. Been around out of Western Pennsylvania. Hibble down the middle's got Griffin in a foot race. Griffin's inside the 25-yard line. Newman finally brings him down, but not before a gain of 47 yards.
You gotta throw against this defense. They're challenging you. If you don't do it, you play it. Griffin's going to come right down. Look at that. There's nobody out there again. Everybody's jamming all around. You put a linebacker on a back, so you got to take the back down the field. No option this time. They try to bracket, but you run right by Lieber, who has him all over the field. A great call by Mangino or Chuck Long.
And you could see Newman with that closing speed coming over on Griffin. Remember, he's a Big 12 sprint champion. He caught it. Hibble, end zone, incomplete. So we have seen evidence of what the coaches were telling us, Gary, that Nate Hibble, who transferred here from Georgia, possesses a good downfield arm.
Oh, yes,
That's another well-thrown ball.
Yes, he does.
Yes.
But he's smiling because he knows he's got a chance to throw a touchdown pass on every throw. This is like going out to the field. He got hit to get through that ball that time, though.
And he learned very well under a fellow by the name of Josh Heupel, who's going to be joining us on the telephone. And we'll talk here about this Oklahoma offense that Josh led to a national championship last year. Undefeated season, beating Florida State down in the Orange Bowl before the snap. And so they'll sort that penalty out. And we welcome in Josh. This is Brent along with Gary. How you doing?
I'm doing very well.
What are you up there, pheasant hunting? What's going on, Josh?
We're getting ready to get my wrist healed up and enjoying watching my Sooners play today.
Yeah, it's great as we take a look at some clips of you in that Big 12 championship game, running for a score, passing for another one. Josh, is the wrist injury that you suffered with the Miami Dolphins in preseason, is it going to require surgery? Some of the coaches thought it might.
Yeah, I'm having surgery on the 9th of October, and we're going to get an opportunity to get healed up and give it another crack next year.
It's the right wrist, the throwing wrist?
Left wrist, yeah.
Oh, it's a left wrist, the throwing wrist. Here, how quickly I forget.
Yeah.
All right, we'll watch this play. Josh, coming right back to you. Second down. They flare the ball. outside.
Hey, Josh, Gary here. It looks really obvious to me that Kansas State is going to force Hibble to throw the ball downfield. You got to be licking your chops watching this thing.
Yeah, there's no doubt. I think Nate's doing a great job of keeping his poise. Against Kansas State, you're going to have to take some hits back there in the pocket and get an opportunity to throw the ball down the field.
Facing a 3rd and 14. Josh, have the Green Bay Packers, did they go ahead and pick up your rights when you were waived? What's your status?
No one can pick me up right now because of my unhealthy status. So I'm going to take care of this injury with surgery and then find out what happened after the season.
All right, we're coming right back. Here's 3rd down now for Hibble. He's back there in the shotgun. He's got trips over to the left. And Josh, you know, Gary and I were talking this morning at breakfast. We forgot on that big 3rd down that you faced last year how you went sideline of Manhattan, Kansas for a huge touchdown.
Remember that 3rd and 26 and you hit it for that big touchdown? Remember that one?
Yeah, get it to the guys and let them take care of the football, right?
Josh, any doubt after being in camp that you can make the National Football League and be a quarterback in that league?
No, if there ever was a doubt, I'm very confident now that I can go out there and play at a very high level and really excited about getting healthy and getting back out there on the field and proving what I can do.
Hey, Josh, Nate Hibble, is he as big a student of the game as you are? Your coach's son, of course. Your daddy's getting ready for a game today. And did he spend a lot of time in the tape room with you?
We very similar backgrounds. Both of our dads are coaches, and we grew up around the game. And I think when you do that, you definitely become more of a student of the game. I think Nate's doing a great job today, as he has the entire season, of taking what the defense is giving him. Today he's getting some shots down the field. And in that offense, the biggest thing is to get the ball out to the guys who can make some great plays for you, and that's the skilled guys.
Can they go unbeaten and win another national championship this year, these Sooners?
I'll tell you what, when you make a national championship run, you got to have a few breaks go your way. But I think they definitely have the talent in the team, and I think you can see how well they play together, how sincere they are as a team. And you got great defense, special teams, and offense. You definitely got a chance to make another run at it.
All right, Josh, thanks for being with us. Good luck with that left wrist, my friend, and make it big in the National Football League. You got a couple of fans here. So Josh Heupel, last year's winning quarterback on OU's national championship team. Well, Gary, here's for Hibble a 3rd and 14.
Yeah, and the first time that in the game so far, it looks like Kansas State will go zone. They got a safety right back here, and it looks like they're going to force the underneath throw. It is zone.
Hibble with great time at the offensive line. Wide receiver all alone for the 1st down, Josh Norman.
I'll tell you, John McGraw that time, the safety, had the flat, and I don't know why he came out of the flat that time. You're going to see it drop here. These guys should just kind of fall, and that area out there should have been covered. Receivers go out. You're watching the quarterback. I don't know what draw, and there's McGraw right there. What's going on? You're running inside. One guy's playing man. The other guy's playing zone. A busted coverage from Kansas State.
That was 3rd and 14, and that's a 21-yard gain. They've converted 2 3rd downs, both huge. Griffin breaks a tackle. Goes to the end zone for a touchdown. A penalty flag has been thrown on the far side, and that flag would be number 9 of the game.
Offside defense.
Well, K-State, they're killing themselves with penalties, Gary.
Yeah, they are. Busted assignments on the 3rd and long play. A busted assignment on the option play. Lining up off sides. They had a penalty on a touchdown. They do not look like they're ready to handle this speed or multiple attack of Oklahoma so far in this game.
That is so deflating to a team when you climb back in a game and score a touchdown, and the other team comes right back and marches down the field as Duncan adds the extra point. I mean, that really yanks the momentum back on Oklahoma's side, and they're again ahead by a couple of touchdowns here.
Simple draw play from the 5-yard line. Look right in the hole. There's a linebacker. There's another linebacker. 2 guys miss right in the hole, and Griffin falls across the line.
One of the reasons why I felt that Oklahoma was so confident as the old Sooner schooner rolls onto the field here is that Bob Stoops admitted to us yesterday that when they had the 2 weeks off after the cancellation of the Tulsa game, which was postponed till later, they worked on Texas. That's right. They worked on Texas before they went back to Kansas State. Early preparation for that huge shootout in Dallas next week. Very seldom do you find a coach honest enough to admit that he looks ahead during the week off and takes a couple of games. Then, of course, they came back. They had some scrimmages. He wanted some contact. This is one of the best coaching staffs in the country. It's not just the head coach, but it's all his assistants that he has under him. And they do a fabulous job here at Oklahoma. Well, Penn State, let's check in with John Saunders. And John, any life out of the Nittany Lions today?
Brent, that's an easy answer. No, or very little. Liddell Betts here from 2 yards out. Penn State, of course, trying to get that win for Joe Paterno to tie the Bear. But right now, down 14-3, and there's been no life on either side of the ball, Brent.
Oh, man, that's awful. They're a 10-point underdog.
He teased you. You thought that was going to be a Penn State highlight.
That was Bobby Goodrich. He said to me, let's go for a Penn State update. You know,
you were ready.
Bobby was teeing me up here. He was yanking me around a little bit. First and 10 now. Here's Roberson. Keeps it. Nothing doing as Brandon Moore, the Sam linebacker out of Freeport, New York, stays home and tackles the quarterback.
Bill Snyder's trying every play in his playbook to keep this fast defense off balance. He knows they flow. He knows the safeties will come up and make tackles. So you're going to see a lot of misdirection, a lot of option plays to try to use that speed against them.
Second down. Roberson searching. Has good protection. And then through that one hopper, which you said in the early game against SC, he went back and started throwing some one hoppers.
He started out a little early in that game throwing high. Then he had some problems, and all of a sudden he quickened up his pace. And you could see right there, he threw the ball before he was ready, and he threw it right into the ground again. Third and long, very difficult time for a young quarterback backed up on your own 20. This is where you can't make another mistake.
Here's your third down. That OU defense will be looking turnover. Here's Roberson. Deep middle open. He's got him again, Brandon Clark. To the 22-yard line before Roy Williams tackles him from behind. How about Roberson?
This is pretty impressive right here. Great pass protection, number one. Great pass protection, number one. Then the big guys go right down here, but watch how long Roberson stays in the pocket and hangs with this. Zone defense, the big receiver goes right down the middle. Two guys in. One receiver goes across, the under receiver goes deep. The zone breaks down, and the safety that time, Roy Williams, tries to poke it loose, but can't get it.
Everidge bit on the other side, Gary, and they rolled Clark right through where the free safety was that time. And Clark with 3 catches for 114 yards after that 58-yard reception.
That was as big as the Quentin Griffin pass over the middle. You remember that little play? This was a called play. That's great coaching. Give it to Ron Hudson and Bill Snyder.
A scoring drive here with 9:45 to go. And K-State may be in this one for a long time. And, Jack, what about this young man, Brandon Clark?
Well, Brent, I ran into Brandon's family, his extended family, aunts, uncles, mom, and dad. They all traveled up from Valley Center, Kansas. Earlier today, they weren't sure if Brandon was going to play. It seems that Brandon was slightly injured in that New Mexico State game, had a tendon problem. When they got there, they saw Brandon. He gave the thumbs up and said, Mom, Dad, I think I'm going to have a big game.
And big game he's having with 3 catches for 114 yards.
He got the ball. He got the ball on the scramble 1-1. That was on 3rd and long, and this is the long pass down the middle. Very well designed play right there. One receiver breaks in, the other receiver breaks behind him. Very well called play.
Now they line Scobie up in a slot. Run the quarterback draw out of it. Roberson, daylight. Behind the blocker, touchdown, K-State. Oh, we got a dandy brewing here, my friend. That's 22 yards for a touchdown. We got a young quarterback growing up. right in front of our eyes right here.
Well, third down plays have been really big in this game. Both teams have given up big third down plays, but this time, another finesse play. Quarterback draw, spread the field out. Teddy Lehman overruns it. Where's Kelmus? Where's Rocky Kelmus? He's got to be eyeing that time. Josh Scobie has been flanking out a lot in this game. Remember, it was Scobie who had the pass interference call.
And Outvatter adds the extra point, folks. Twice, Oklahoma has been up by a couple of scores. Kansas State won't quit. Timeout. Now it's time for the Pontiac drive summary. And Gary, two of the last 3 times the OU offense has got it on the board.
I think Oklahoma has adjusted. Mangino's adjusted. Chuck Long's adjusted. They see what Phil Bennett's doing. Now Phil Bennett has to show a little bit different here. He tried the zone at the last play. Remember, it didn't work. But he's going to have to mix up his coverages.
He's got to be very mindful of deep center field.
Oh, it's been wide open.
OU is getting there time after time. It's going to be out of bounds, and the penalty flag will fly against Kansas State. Well, Bill Snyder has done just a brilliant job of turning around. Well, if it wasn't the worst program in Division I football, it was close to it. Folks, look at the 12 years under Snyder against OU now. 5-6. Remember, 2 of those losses a year ago, but he's outscored them in those 11 games. But look at before Bill Snyder. 0-12, and they'd been outscored 502 to 150. You talk about a coaching job.
And a recruiting job.
Absolutely.
Some of the guys on the Oklahoma staff were there when he made that record. Right.
First down from the gun against that 3-man. Here's the quarterback draw against it. Penalty flag. A penalty flag, and Hibble dashes across the 50. Remember, Josh Heupel used to call that quarterback draw occasionally, but this one is coming back, and that's a rare mistake committed by the Sooners on a big play.
Well, you know, Quentin Griffin had such a big drive last time, and the guy is really a wonderful back and really the leader of this football team on offense. You got to stop him. Here's a little scouting report on him. Quentin Griffin, he's quick. He's like a quail. When you stop him and corner him, he goes any direction. He's like a quake. You know what that quake means? He's got a shake to him when you corner him. And Quattro, he's got that 4th gear. Well, that was hard. It took me a whole flight to figure out those things.
This scouting report has been brought to you by Gary Danielson on behalf of Audi.
And they get up the ball every way possible in this offense, and that's why Phil Bennett has tried to take him away. Nice adjustment by Oklahoma with that pass down the middle. That'll soften them up.
So now Bennett under the gun.
Same defense.
1st and 20. They press the line on Hibble. If you're going to do that, you got to get there. Complete, but not back to the line of scrimmage. Fagan, and Fagans from Irving, Texas, makes the play defensively. He might be their best all-around defensive back right there, number 21.
Well, he had a couple interceptions against New Mexico State last week.
Good football player, Gary.
Yep.
So the shootout here at Owen Field in Norman, Oklahoma. A Big 12 opener for K-State and Oklahoma with Jack Arute and Gary Danielson. I'm Brett Musburger. A beautiful day, sellout crowd, good football game. 2nd down and 12 for Hibble. Inside handoff to Griffin. Lieber is among the defenders right there, and now it is time for our Pacific Life game summary as we take a look at how OU scored 3 times. The first, a defensive touchdown after a mental mistake, we think, by the K-State quarterback, Williams. Then it was Savvy, 63 yards, Hibble's longest pass. And then it was the big little man, Griffin, busting into the end zone for the touchdown. 3rd down and 9. They're coming with a blitz. Got one-on-one incomplete, but the blitz was bringing the heat that time.
It was a safety blitz that time. John McGraw, the free safety, Man-to-man all over the field. Corners, you got to stop them. Kansas State rushed one more guy, then Oklahoma could pick it up. There's the safety blitz. Lieber right there will come. That opens it up for the safety. You have to get rid of this ball quickly. That's what the shotgun gives you, an opportunity to throw the ball with the middle blitz.
Jeff Ferguson into punt. K-State got one of his punts a year ago in Manhattan. Calling out assignments. Almost looked like he was going to take off. Thought better of it and angled it. K-State saying stay away from it. So a little confusion down there, and then the snap was not perfect. An ABC Sports presentation of college football brought to you by the 2002 Pontiac Bonneville. Luxury with attitude. Aflac. Without it, no insurance is complete. And Valvoline's Max Life, the first motor oil formulated for higher mileage engines.
That was a very poor snap. It drove Ferguson way to his right. He mishandled it. You see the wind has kind of died. Kansas State is really not going much into the wind right now. It's really calmed down. Here's the snap. Watch him draw him way over here. Look at that snap. Very poor.
Oh, and then he juggled it is what happened. Roberson on a great fake. Coming back, middle of field. Almost intercepted. There's Williams, who scored a touchdown. This pass by Roberson almost picked up. But you can just feel the confidence in number 3 starting to grow, coming out and firing.
He threw that ball about 35, 40 yards on the line that time. As you look at the total yardage as it's evened up in this game, and he gunned it. He just led Clark a little too much, or he had him right in the middle. And that was off the option attack. Play action off the option.
K-State comes back with 2nd and 10. Fake to Lockett. Roberson was going to cut back, but OU was ready for it. Jimmy Wilkerson converted from linebacker to defensive end, the sophomore from Omaha, Texas.
Yeah, that's an interesting story about Wilkerson. Put him in practice. He was the nickel rush end. Every day in practice, he kept making more and more plays. Finally, Stoops and Venables said, let's just put him in there. He's a linebacker size, but he keeps making plays. And in the national championship game, he had 3 tackles and a pass deflection, so he's used to playing defensive end.
K-State has converted 2 huge 3rd downs in this game. Here's another one needing 11. Roberson hit on the release for an incomplete pass, and the hit was by you-know-who, Jimmy Wilkerson. Again, he just continues, as Gary told you, to make play after play. He dominates this series.
Robertson had decent time here. It was a deep zone, didn't have a lot of people open, hesitated, and Wilkerson comes in late to kind of get that hit just as Roberson let it go.
Matt Martin didn't keep the rush man outside that time. He gave Wilkerson an inside alley, and with that speed, he closed hard. The tackle's got to keep him coming outside. This is Penguin. We're about the 42-yard line. Well, next Saturday, we got a dandy coming your way out of Dallas. Oklahoma, Texas. Remember the 63. I am sure that the Horn players, as soon as they finish that Texas Tech game today, that'll be up all over their locker room. The 63 the Sooners put on them a year ago in Dallas. Next week, 3:30 Eastern, 12:30 Pacific time. If OU wins this, that could be one of the games of the year. Now Nate Hibble.
3 receivers and 4 defensive backs right there covering the 3 guys. They run combos, sometimes they blitz. Here comes the blitz.
High and incomplete, and it is 2nd down and 10. Penalty flag. It was a late flag. Derek Yates, the defender. Our 10th penalty. of this game. Snyder on the sideline, matching against Stoops.
It'll be a spot foul, automatic first down.
Brent, remember last time the safety came. This time off the corner, the slot's going to come, and the safety comes and replaces and covers. Here comes the slot. Deron Tyler on block, but Hibble with a short drop gets rid of it. And he grabbed him with the shoulder, but that was well high over the receiver that time, and I don't know if that was even a catchable ball.
Well, they had one horrible call against them. K-State did earlier in the game, and that one is very questionable. And the flag is coming from their side of the field. First down and 10. Quentin battles his way for 2 or 3 yards.
Well, Quentin gets the ball, that time a little finesse play up the middle, but there's so many ways this offense can get the ball to Quentin Griffin. It's designed for this tailback. You can pitch it to him, little sweep action. You can draw it to him, and then you can throw it out of the backfield. And of course, near the goal line, he's got that power to run it. You have to design a defense to stop him. Quentin Griffin, the money guy on this defense.
Texas remembers him. He hit the horns with 6 in that Dallas ambush a year ago. Hit on the release, incomplete. And that was number 52, Ben Lieber, the All-American candidate, rolling in.
Phil Bennett is rolling the dice. It's going to be another safety blitz. Watch McGraw come in. Here's Lieber coming in, the same blitz that got him on 3rd down. Here comes McGraw. Lieber comes inside. This time they block the safety. That makes it even easier for the linebacker to come inside.
The right guard blew the assignment. He went over to double the nose man to help Carter, and Lieber just rolled through that spot that time.
Either way, someone's coming free. They've only got 5 blockers and 6 rushers.
I think they're starting to expose the center problem down there with a freshman at center, and they're starting to gang up.
Here it comes again. Right
they walk the backer right in on him, and a timeout is called. It didn't take coaches long, folks. They sit up here in the box, and they tell Bennett down the field, look, they got a young center in there. He's just accounting for the middle linebacker. He's not even calling the line calls down there. Let's see if we can give him some mental problems. The guards are very conscious of that of OU. They're jumping in to try and help him on the block, and that time they went right up the guard hole on the blitz by Lieber. So now Bennett, they're going to keep the heat right on the middle of that OU offensive line. And you better believe that right now the Texas Longhorns are marking that down on their coach's tape too, because they'll keep a close eye as to whether or not Josh Smith, the junior, is able to come back to the lineup next week. The center is so important to the timing of an offense, whether it's in college or the National Football League. Time after time, you'll see a good center go out. That's why NFL linemen, they're so versatile. They can move from guard or tackle to center. You've just got to have a center for your timing down there. And coming up now, the Valvoline halftime show. John Saunders and Terry Bowden will have all the scores and highlights. And let us check in with Jack Arute. Jack?
Well, Brent, let's turn our attention back to what you were talking about before Bill Snyder and after Bill Snyder at Kansas State. They've got 400 victories, and Bill Snyder's 101 victories are more than double the man in second place. And if you want to get 100 victories from previous coaches at KSU, look at that. You got to have 8 different coaches. But here's what Snyder said. He said, you know, if you coach long enough, you can always get 100 wins.
3rd down and 7, but he got him quicker than most, didn't he? Especially at K-State. Here they come again on Carter. They come both sides that time. Incomplete. Antoine Savage, the intended receiver. And folks, if you want to see some action, it's right in the middle of that offensive line against the middle of Bennett's defense.
3 straight safety blitzes that time. Phil Bennett is saying, I'm going to outnumber you. Oklahoma tried to keep their tight end in that time. So what happened? If you're going to block 6, we'll bring 7. You block 5, we'll bring 6.
Lockett looking for a return. K-State down 7. Lots of time. 5:20. Dangerous return man. Ferguson, remember the bad snap. Again, OU trying to account for everybody in the K-State front. High, pulls it down. Great hang time. Lockett's not even going to take a shot at it. This is going to be inside the 5-yard line. He should have called for the fair catch. Oh, baby.
Mental mistake by Lockett. He could have caught that on the 11-yard line. That's why he's back there.
And that's why Ferguson is the leading candidate for the Ray Guy punting award. Punts like that, burying teams inside the 10-yard line.
Mental mistake. Look, this should take 2.0 seconds from snap to when the foot hits the ball. Let's check it. Snap to punt. There's the snap. There's the punt. 1.9. Perfect. But look at Aaron Lockett backs off. Cost this team horrible field position with 5 minutes to go in the half.
And now it is really going to be noisy for young L. Roberson coming out from his own end zone. Keeps it stuffed. No signal for a safety. The linesman coming down. Kalmus is there defensively. The crowd wanted the safety. It is a closed end zone down there all the way around.
Option play to the wide side. Kalmus came inside, filled behind the play, and when Roberson tried to cut up, he wasn't there.
What a great spot for a quick kick. Second down and 10. Roberson's got to get out, and he does. Now it's third down. Oh, it's dangerous when you come down the line in the end zone.
Well, with 4:18 to go, and about the best Kansas State might come out of this is tremendous field position for Oklahoma on a punt. Huge play by Lockett, not getting that ball on the 12-yard line, 11-yard line.
They get the play into him with about 12 seconds on the clock. They're going to have to hurry.
They don't have a timeout.
They're inside of 5. They got to really snap it now. Time's running down on him. They don't get it off. Blame the coaches, ladies and gentlemen. Blame the coaches. The play came late from the sideline. I saw them when they left, and they were already down to about 16 seconds. You can't do that down there.
Not a real big deal, though. You lose 3 inches. I mean, at this point, you got to make sure you know what you're doing.
Yeah, you're right, Gary.
You know, I think that's why Bill Snyder's real not upset with that. They have no timeouts. Again, the best it looks like Kansas State could come out of this, unless they make a huge play, is tremendous field position for Oklahoma.
Might as well back it out and wing it. Brandon Clark's been open in the middle. The safeties will be looking for a run. That's what he's going to do, baby. Incomplete. Out of the end zone.
Gutsy call right there. A 10-yard out from your own end zone with a young quarterback. He skipped it, though.
Eats on the punter, and here's Travis Brown, the junior. Fagan back near the 35. OU's going to have great field position.
Got to get rid of this one quick. Way under 2. You got to be about 175.
K-State needs to keep it clean.
Perfect.
At the 44 to the 41-yard line. Plenty of time. 3:07. The Sooners have 1 timeout left. And remember, first down stopped the old clock, so they've got a ton of time.
That was a great punt by Travis Brown that time.
Yeah, it was, Gary.
Backed up. He got it off in less than 175. Look at the field position, the 40-yard line. You couldn't get any better outcome than one right there for Kansas State.
Well, again, a reminder that Monday night it's the Jets and the Dolphins from New York. Al Michaels, Dan Fouts and the gang will bring it to you at 9 Eastern. The 49ers and the Jets.
Where does the blitz come from this time?
First down.
Josh Heupel's watching at home and said, been there, done that.
A late substitution. Too many men on the field. That's 12 men on the field. Free down. Incomplete, but the penalty is against Kansas State. Deron Tyler was late leaving the field. There were 12 Wildcats on the field.
What a tremendous play by Newman. This ball could have been caught. Newman, with his great speed, catches up to it. There's the last guy going off. He didn't make it by 15 yards, but Newman runs behind the receiver and tips that ball out. What a play. Mistake early. Watch this post play and watch Newman, number 4, make up ground. He's got Woolfolk open. The ball hangs, and Newman comes from behind. He doesn't panic, and with his right arm flips it out. Wonderful play.
Big 12 sprint champion.
Yep.
Showing you his speed.
That's a big-time play because most defensive backs panic. They grab the receiver. They have interference. That was a wonderful play by Newman.
Is this a fun game or what?
Absolutely.
Huh?
Absolutely.
Is the Big 12 a good conference
well,
this year?
These two guys got it going, don't they? These two coaches.
How about Nebraska and Texas?
Oh, yeah, I forgot about that.
Yeah. And you know, Colorado's not bad.
Colorado's putting some offense on the board, aren't they?
Yeah, losing to Fresno State.
Yeah, right.
Not quite as bad as they thought, huh?
Oh, 11 man within 4 yards of the line of scrimmage.
And it's 1st and 5 after the penalty. Nothing doing.
Busted assignment. Well, the last series, it was blitz, blitz, blitz. And that's why they forced the punt. It came from every direction. From the outside, Deron Taylor. From the inside, Ben Lieber. From the strong safety, Milton Proctor. All 3 different sides, 3 different people.
2nd down and 5. High, incomplete. And another strong play by Fagans, the other corner. We've had some good corner play by K-State in this game.
What a wonderful game plan, at least to stop Griffin. Kansas State, they're gambling downfield, but they are staying on number 22.
It's an interesting game plan because both the corners are holding up. The safeties are leaving center field wide open, and that's where OU's been able to go for its big play.
And it's hard to cover center field when you're blitzing the quarterback.
Exactly.
Not many guys can do that.
Derek Yates and John McGraw are in, and
here's a blitzer right here. Why is he here? Why is he there? Why is he there? Oh, he peels.
On the side. Oh, brother! And now a late penalty flag. McGraw unloads, but there is a penalty flag.
That was the quick screen, the wide receiver screen, as McGraw came up from the safety spot.
Was he too high when he hit him?
I don't think so. I think they might have got a pick on Oklahoma.
Wow.
No, that was a clean hit. Well, there's a lot of conversation. They're trying to get it right. I mean, they know how every play is a big play. Hey, considering where Kansas State had the ball on the 6-inch line, they're going to pick it up.
Picking it up.
All right.
Flag on the play.
I didn't see anything.
I want to listen to this helmet rattler. Take a listen to this, folks. Oh, yeah.
Woo. McGraw was the leading returning tackler for this team, a former walk-on.
Game on.
Yeah, game
now
on.
The National Hockey League
look at this. Look at this.
They're stacked.
Double
pass.
Yeah.
Yes, it is. They throw it on back. Touchdown, Oklahoma! As they throw it back to Hunter Wool, a redshirt freshman quarterback. So they send Hunter Wool into the game. They come up with a trick play on the throwback from Antoine Savage. How about that one? Do you think that young man isn't happy? A redshirt freshman checks in.
You could see the trick formation. You know what was huge in this sprint? Kansas State had no timeouts. They wanted to take one. They couldn't do it. They had to survive, and they didn't.
Wait a minute.
Oh, this is after the fact. This is a celebration penalty.
So another long extra point, but OU says we'll take it.
No timeouts. There's nothing they could have done to take it. The only thing they could have done is charged across the line and take a penalty, but that would have been a huge heads-up play.
So that was 4th down and 3, and OU goes 33 yards for the touchdown. And Duncan adds the extra point. The redshirt freshman for 33 yards, and it's 28-14 OU.
Snapped right there. He's in there. That should have been the first clue. Throws it this way and then just trails out. One receiver goes deep, but it was set up for a screen all along. Throw it, look deep, look deep. Savage says nothing there. Throw back and look at that picket fence. I could have scored on that. Chuck Long could have scored on that play right there.
Hey, how about this guy, Antoine Savage? He has caught a touchdown pass, and now he has thrown for a touchdown
Remember,
pass.
Antoine Savage was a high school quarterback. And look at that, nice elbow, perfect throw, and look how nice it's set up. Derek straight back there, but anything but a touchdown right here would have been a survivable play for Kansas State. Tremendous blocking and a walk-in. Whoa, what a turn of events.
So instead of going in 21-14, it is now 28-14 with 1:58 to go, and there is the young man out on the field again, ready to go back to work on the kickoff team. He's been the player of the game so far. Here's Lockett. He's going to try it again. OU closing in. Makes him pay. And Savage now comes down and makes the tackle. What a half number 6 is having.
When we asked Coach about Savage, what did he say? Big
One of my
plays,
big-time guys,
big
and he had not caught a lot of balls.
Absolutely. But he's the 6th career passing receiver for Oklahoma, so you know he's done it in the past. Savage, this is the kickoff. You throw a pass. This is something I can't relate to. Throw a touchdown pass and have to go cover on kicks.
After he's already caught a touchdown pass. Made the stop at the 15-yard line. Roberson. Not going to go 85 yards on that. Tommy Harris, the freshman. Well, Snyder doesn't want to turn it over down here and give OU a minute 30 to light up this crowd with another touchdown. He'll take his 2-touchdown deficit and go on in. His team has battled back a couple of times to within 7, but they've given up big plays in this game.
But they've only given up 2 touchdowns. 2 touchdowns has come on a fumble and on a gimmick play against the punt.
Don't they count?
But the defense has only given up 2. They go in at halftime feeling good about their defense.
Second down.
There's Scobie right there.
Sideline.
Lock it again.
Incomplete. And he was rocked by Derek Strait out of Austin, Texas. I asked Derek yesterday, I said, Derek, how did you ever get away from the Longhorns, being down there in Austin? And he just looked at me with that smile.
Yep, came in to watch tape. We were in there meeting with the coaches, and he walked in, grabbed 3 tapes.
Yeah, the coaches are watching CNBC in the stock market report. What's going on in the coaching fraternity?
I knew you'd bag them. I knew you'd bag them.
Where was ESPN? Where was the sports channels up there?
Oh, man.
My friend Mike Stoops will forgive me. He was looking for the Disney stock to go up like the rest of us. Here's Roberson. Fired, intercepted. Oklahoma with a minute to work with. Matt McCoy out of Jinx, Oklahoma, picks it off.
Roberson had good protection that time. Went to the guy that was double coverage. Bill Snyder gambled a bit with this call. 3rd and long. There's the receiving guy coming in. He just peels off on him, gets the double coverage this time, sits in the middle, looks at the quarterback, peels back, turns around, gets the interception. Zone defense. Stoops and Venables goes with the zone. He throws right into it.
You would think now that they'd have a safety playing a little bit looser.
I don't know.
They had 13 defenders. They pulled 2 with the personnel. Now you know that Hibble's going to take a shot to the 35. 55 seconds to go.
See, they can't handle this blitz.
Time out by Stoops. That's his last one.
Right. Bennett has a blitz that Mangino has not been able to pick up. Safety came in clean again, and it forced Hibble to dump the play and roll out.
Yeah, Mangino needs to bring one of these receivers through the formation and chip a little bit on this blitz package. He's going to have to put a man in motion coming through like an H-back in the NFL because they're causing havoc in the middle of this defense.
This is where the 20 hours start to catch up to you in college football. You don't have the big packages. They got to go in at halftime and solve that at halftime.
Jackaroo.
Brent, it's been 21 days since this team has competed on the gridiron in a regular game. And I did a little, checking in the record book to say how OU, the Sooners, perform in 20 to 29 days off. They're 8-1 all time. The only loss came in a Sugar Bowl back in 1952 when they lost to Kentucky 41-6. And oh, by the way, in 52, they still went on to win that national championship. So they're pretty good in that 20 to 29 day span.
Yeah, indeed. Owen Field, Norman, Oklahoma. Gorgeous Saturday afternoon and a wild first half. A little bit of everything here with the Sooners leading the Wildcats 28-14. Final 50 seconds coming up. OU out of timeouts. Now second down and 4.
Both linebackers, Pierce and Buell, go off the field.
From the 35.
Dropped by Norman. Third down. Should have had it, knows it.
Really nice attack. Really nice attack from this defense. Going to have to go deep. You're going to have to do what Heupel did last year. Buy some time, throw the ball up in the end zone, and let those athletic receivers go grab one for you. Or catch one. Could have caught that one, I guess. Huh?
Man, center field open.
How about the old
Coach? How about the old hook and ladder?
How about just the hook? We don't need the ladder.
You're right. Third down. It's time. Right at the first down marker, got the spot. That's waving it off over there. The official waved it off.
Trent Smith was the guy, the tight end. He thought he had that ball.
Ball must have come free as he went out of bounds over there, the way the official made the call. Take a look at the end of this, Gary.
I thought he caught it.
So did I.
Can't really tell this far away. It's one-on-one. They throw it out there. Catches it. He must have been juggling it, I guess. See, the ball roll out late. The ball rolled out late.
So they'll try the field goal here. We think. 52-yarder. So he misses the 52-yarder. 35 seconds to go. And it stays 28-14, and with 35 seconds, wouldn't you think that K-State say, let's just...
No, I'd throw the ball downfield. You got good field position. I would not throw intermediate passes. If I was going to go, I'd run quarterback draw, maybe screens, something you're not going to turn it over. But if I turn it over, I want it to happen way down on the other side, the 20, 25-yard line of Oklahoma. I'd take a chance.
And they hold out Tommy Harris.
Well, if you get a sack, if something goes wrong, yes, then you start taking a knee.
New quarterback at Notre Dame today against Texas A&M, Gary.
Carlisle Holiday is going to get his shot. I hope he's got a big voice.
From San Antonio, he'll need it in that arena. So here it comes. Just what you said.
Oh, he had it.
Incomplete. And again, Clark was open.
A little dangerous, though. You got a crossing receiver coming into a blind area for a quarterback. I kind of envisioned something downfield a little bit more to the outside. And your quarterback sprints out on an option, turns around and throws it. You can't account for every defender.
So we're having about a 2-hour first half. Second down. Scobie. So Snyder now is content.
Scobie has been...
To let the clock run out here because there are no timeouts. He can't stop it. Not a first down. So here come the last 14 seconds. And we're going down a couple of scores here.
Scobie very quiet in this game. He had the long touchdown run. That was on the option. No power offense to speak of for Kansas State.
So Snyder and the Wildcats trail it 28-14. And ABC's presentation of college football returns after this message and a word from our ABC stations.
They came from every corner of the country. From small town.
The pride of Oklahoma at halftime with their director Brian Britt. An ABC sports presentation of college football returns after this message and a word from our ABC stations. Oklahoma leads at 28-14. Gary, it is so nice to find a legend who's still living. As we welcome in Barry Switch. Barry, wide open like you used to have it, right? I mean, you know, throwing across, trick play.
A little different.
22 yards rushing.
Imagine that. I tell you what, they can line it up in a hurry, can't they? Well-coached football team. Very exciting to watch.
That is a very good point. And Antoine Savage had himself one of the great halves here, Barry. They were pressing the safeties, got him open.
You bet. He's an old quarterback. You're going to find that out in a minute.
Yeah.
Right here. He's an old quarterback out of, I think, Georgia, somewhere down south. And the Florida didn't want him. We did. And throws back to an old quarterback. Here's a great special teams play. That's the neat thing about it. All these guys that start in special skill positions are in all special teams.
Well, stick right here with us, Coach, and we'll talk a little OU football. Did you ever lose to Kansas State in your entire career?
I never did. As an assistant coach, we did back Vince Gibson's teams. He had a pretty good run back in the late 60s.
Well, let's check in on Jack Arun on what the coaches had to say. Jack, what's up here in the second half, buddy?
Well, Brent, let's start with Bob Stoops first. He talked about big plays, the need to stop them and the need to make them. On the other side of the coin, I chatted with Bill Snyder, the Wildcats head coach, and I said, Coach, is this the type of team that you can motivate with a fiery speech at halftime? He said, no, Jack, I've just got to continue to teach them.
Well, L. Roberson brings him out from the sideline. Toss play to Scobie. Nothing much doing down there as we take a look at the numbers here, Gary.
Yeah, and I think that's been the story of the first half. Kansas State needed to rush the ball. Look at that, 71. Oklahoma, 23. That's okay because they're going to throw the ball. When you can't run, that forces, look at this, penalties. Big story in the first half. The 2 turnovers, obviously. And the kicking game, Brent, didn't show up there, but that was huge in the first half.
Second down and 9. They bottled up Lockett, the Sooner defense. They're going to run Scobie again. This is a terrific defense, isn't it, Barry?
Very good. That was a fine play, but that freshman there, Harris, makes a play and for no gain. But, yeah, they can run extremely well. I tell you, Kansas State's a good defensive football team, too. And they just, like Gary said, nothing went well for them in that first quarter, and they were in trouble.
Well, they're coming up now with a 3rd and long. They hit a couple of big 3rd down plays in the first half. They need 10 here again, or OU's going to get the ball right back. Blitz. And that forces a punt as Roy Williams. What an outstanding safety he is, Coach.
You bet. They inherited him. There were some players here, Rocky Kalmus and Williams, some guys that came here to give Bob and Euclid some talent, plus the guys he recruited. And Well, they do. I can't tell you how great a coaching job these guys do here.
And Gary, here's our Morgan Stanley well-connected storyline.
The big plays has come in the air. Roberson to Clark, who we didn't even know was going to play. And, of course, Savage. He's had a brilliant first half.
The Browns still punting here in the second half as you look from behind him. Fagan's the return man for the Sooners.
Great punt.
It was. Drove him back inside the 30. So down to the 31-yard line. That's where
we talked about what each team likes to do. We're going to label it over here to the left. This is what Kansas State likes to do. Power number one, but look at, they only ran it 6 times for power. Tried to do the option, but look at how many drop back passes. That is not what they like to do. Oklahoma, finesse, they finessed it 13 times. Pocket 20 times, only 1 play action pass. Exactly what Oklahoma wants to do. They're following their game plan. Kansas State is not doing what they like to do.
Hibble and his quarterback.
32.
Comes back to the middle, to the 35-yard line. Barry, as you watch Hibble, how does he compare in your mind to Josh Heupel, who was here a year ago?
Well, this was going to be his test today. We're going to play a good defensive football team in Kansas State. Obviously, Heupel was an excellent quarterback and proved himself for 2 years here, an outstanding player. This is his first game to be really tested, and so far, he's passing the test.
Looks good deep, doesn't he?
He throws a good ball. You know, Josh threw ugly balls. This guy's got pretty balls, but Josh completed most of the ugly ones.
Second down and 7.
There it is, deep.
It's pretty, but incomplete.
Great coverage. Great coverage.
Good coverage.
That was Newman again.
Yeah, I really like Newman. I really do. He's got the speed as advertised. Sometimes we talked to Bill Snyder about this, and Barry, you know this. Sometimes you watch a guy on film and you think he's really fast. You watch him out in the game and he doesn't play fast. I think Newman plays fast.
That's right, and we talk about long speed. You know, a lot of guys don't start quick, but once they get to running, they cover a lot of ground. They run faster than what they start running.
Third down and 7 for the Sooners.
Well, here they come again. They're lined up. Seven-man blitz. Force a punt. Beautiful job by Newman. The instincts tell you to grab onto the receiver. Newman misjudged the jump. He gets up, but he doesn't grab the receiver this time. Watch Woolfolk. He has to slow down. Newman jumps, but he keeps his hands back. He gets away with it. Yes, he misjudged it, but he didn't come down and grab the receiver and get a penalty. Perfect job. Stay off the center.
Barry, as we get ready to go to commercial, what do you miss most about not coaching?
I miss the players. I miss the coaches, camaraderie. I don't miss, I love competition, love game days, but obviously it's the 365-day-a-year job. The high school and colleges have a different mission than pro coaches, and we all want to win, but we do it differently in a different system, and I miss this right here today. But not everything else that goes with it.
What a great punter Jeff Ferguson is.
Good to see you guys.
Very good to see you, my friend.
You bet. Gary, good to see you.
So it looks like we've got a flag down on the field. As we say goodbye to Barry Switzer, it's always nice to spend a few minutes with him. What a machine they had when he was down here, Gary. Did you ever get a chance to cover him as a broadcaster?
Non-contact foul, both teams, penalties declined, first down.
That time, Andre Woolfolk, in the lock at that time on the punt, looked right up in the sun and lost the ball like a center fielder. Can't really blame him for losing this one. This is something you got to practice. These early morning games, look at that. Couldn't see it, forced to let it go, and it rolls all the way down inside the 5-yard line. 61-yard punt.
The punting game has been the difference today. Timeout. We mentioned the punting game and Gary, field position in Oklahoma's favor.
It has been. It's been turnovers, penalties, and lack of execution in the kicking game that has really cost and made that field position poor.
Scobie bangs to the 4-yard line, and Everidge makes the hit for OU. So the bottom of the hour, it's Kansas State and Oklahoma. Big 12 shootout. And the Oklahoma defense resulted in the game's first touchdown. And then a short time ago against Scobie, they were all over the talented running back. Remember now, K-State came in averaging 300 yards a game on the ground. And here is Scobie for the first down, and they have been held to less than 90 here so far today, with Roy Williams making the hit.
Nice option that time. Very well executed down the line, and Aaron Lockett got a great block downfield to really get the first down play. I think the option is a play that can be continued to be run over and over. Option down the line, right on the right side of your screen. Watch the block. That's what really allowed Scobie to get the first down.
Here's Roberson. He's going to keep it. He is very strong. With a defender hanging on to his jersey, he still made his way out to about the 21 or 22, with Heineke being credited with the tackle. Now, if K-State can score the next touchdown in this game, Snyder knows he's got a Donnybrook on his hands. He doesn't want to give up the next score here. He's down 2 touchdowns. A big drive, second down, 5 yards to go. Oh, what a hit in the hole that time by Holyman. Number 99 out of Oklahoma City, unloaded.
That was just a poor block up front. Beats him right up the middle, right inside right there, just a feet at the line of scrimmage. People just passed him by. Rock Cartwright was the guy who was supposed to sweep inside from the fullback spot, and he didn't get there in time. Kind of a gimmick play. Kind of a gimmick play, and it didn't work.
3rd and 8. Roberson needs to be accurate. And he is for a first down on the extension for the big tight end. They finally hit their 6'7" target, Nick Warren.
Well, Oklahoma used a 3-man line, but they blitzed. They brought the linebackers. That was a drop off to the tight end. You got to sit. Watch these linebackers. They're just going to cross in right here, and you hit the big tight end right over the middle right there. L. Robinson did a nice job. Even Everidge comes, the free safety. He throws it back it up to the only man he could have to get the first down. Great execution. Good execution on the option. Good execution on 3rd down right there.
In the round, here comes Lockett. A deep drop. Can't get back to the line of scrimmage. They ran the fake off of it a couple of times in the first half, and OU was sitting on it. A loss of 7, and Jimmy Wilkerson, along with Corey Klein, blow the play out.
Right at the middle, right at the center, right when that play was snapped, I think it was Tommy Harris just blew up the center and just made that reverse go too deep. And then the speed of that Oklahoma defense, you can't run a deep reverse.
Lockett has really been shut down here.
He's their big play guy, and you can't get him the ball.
Well, they need a big play now. Quarterback draw, Roberson, and Williams was waiting for him at the 24-yard line. Number 38 is a big timer, a junior from Union City, California.
Roy Williams, All-American. Brandon Everidge plays like an All-American. Derek Strait, corner. Jim Thornton, nominee. Best secondary in college football.
There's Strait, number 2, goes over on the corner. Now it's 3rd down. They'll look for Roberson to put it up. Good protection. Drills high and incomplete, and Strait all over the receiver that time. Ate him up on that pass play.
Great protection. The Sooner defense did not blitz. They were looking for the quarterback draw. No one was open. That great secondary just covered up all the receivers.
Here's Travis Brown. He's been busy, and he's punted well. Fagan back. Fagan's a junior out of Houston.
punt.
It is a beauty. Drives Fagan back to the 20-yard line, and great coverage right there. And look at Derek Yates come down with big, bad Ben Lever. They get the job done. Timeout. Oklahoma with the lead, coming out for the 21-yard line, and the 1st and 10 line is brought to you this quarter by Chevy Trucks.
And it's not been used a lot. Only 8 first downs by each team. The defenses have been controlling this game, and mistakes and kicking have been deciding this game.
Turnovers, 2 by Kansas State and 1 for Oklahoma. In fact, K-State's made several mistakes here that have turned the tide in OU's favor. Hibble lines up the offense.
Resuming play from the 21-yard line. 1st and 10 Sooners.
Terrific. Couple of yards. Now it's time for our Pacific Life game summary. And you can see the mistake. The first one, Roberson went the wrong way. Pitched it to Oklahoma for a touchdown. Then 12 men on the field, can't get off in time. And then the interception, one of the 2 turnovers by K-State in this game, and the other one resulted in a touchdown. And so they have put themselves in this 28-14 hole, and they're trying to dig out. 2nd down, Hibble on the draw play. Will not get the 1st down. He is upended by number 2, Deron Tyler. Let's go to Jackaroo. Jack?
Well, Brent, when you and Gary were talking to Josh Heupel in that 2nd quarter, you tried to get Josh to tell you what he thought Nate might have learned from him. But when you talk to the coaches here at Oklahoma, they say the biggest thing that Nate Hibble learned from Josh Heupel was skills in the film room. They said Hibble has become just as good as Heupel when it comes to breaking down film.
And here, Jack, he faces a 3rd and 6. He's completed 10 of 25, so he hasn't hit 50%. He does have the 1 long touchdown pass. Blitz in its teeth. Got it. Free. 30. The man again. Antoine Savage has been the difference maker. 75 yards after going 63 in the first half. He's also thrown for a touchdown, and he's been a terror on the kickoff team.
Yeah, give this one to the quarterback, though. Hibble stood right into that blitz, waited as long as he could. Number 94, Thomas Huchin, was coming at him. Hibble took it right on the chin and threw a perfect pass. That's a quarterback that was willing to stand in there and produce points. That's a brilliant play, and his team will notice that when they watch the films.
And here's Duncan.
Man, did he get hit.
Could be a game breaker right there, folks.
Jack said Stoops wanted big plays. Well, he got one from his quarterback.
So Hibble had a career-long 63 in the first half, and now he breaks it with his 75-yarder. Now watch him get hit.
Watch this. They're blitzing. They pick off from the outside. This time they get the safety to let the defensive end go. And boy, does he take the helmet in the chin. A perfect throw. Not very good by Fagans that time. He needs to save the defense. When you're blitzing, you got to make the tackle. But watch Hibble here. He waits. He waits. He knows he's going to get hit. He sees him. He waits as long as he can, and he takes it right under the chin. Driven right into the ground. And I'll tell you, Hibble came off shaky. They almost had to help him off the field.
They did.
Absolutely. What a play. What a play by a quarterback trying to win over his team. When you're following up a quarterback like Heupel was last year, you got to prove to your teammates that you're as tough as the guy who led them to a championship a year ago. And right there, Nate Hibble might have done as much for his team, Oklahoma, this year in one play as I've seen in a while.
He certainly opened up a little daylight in this one. 35-14 as a result of his 75-yarder. He's thrown for 256 yards. That'll come out of the 20-yard line. So Nate Hibble on the game, I made reference to the fact that he hasn't completed 50%, but he's thrown for 256 yards. And he's thrown for 2 long touchdowns, being tended to by the medical staff. That is, well, that's per pass completion.
That's not
24.1. That's pretty good.
That's not bad.
Per pass completion.
And that's almost 10 yards per attempt, which is huge.
First down. And keeps it as we check in with Jack Arute.
Well, Brent, they're continuing to check out Nate Hibble on the sidelines. Looks as if indeed he got his bell rung, but maybe the most humorous moment occurred a couple of seconds ago when Cale Gundy came over to Nate, looked at him and said, "Are you okay?" Nate shook his head and says, "Heck of a lot more fun than playing golf, isn't it?"
Of course, he was a golfer at Georgia. He's a scratch golfer, right?
How's our Ryder Cup team doing today in England? Oh, I forgot.
Right at the end of that play, right at you. Hold it as long as you can. Drive him into the ground. What a play by the quarterback.
And here's that fullback. He breaks free. Oh, what a run by Rock. Crosses the 40-yard line before Roy Williams can bring Cartwright down, averaging better than 5 yards a carry. Man, they got some hammers back there in that backfield.
Well, Ron Hudson, the offensive coordinator for Kansas State, said this is the best backfield that Kansas State has ever had. Josh Scobie and his bodyguard. This is off the option. They've been faking it to him, and this time they give it to Ron Cartwright. He busts a tackle and goes outside. He got 56 yards against USC, and you can see why. He's alone.
And Roy Williams chased him down, collared him. Almost intercepted.
Boy, I'll tell you, that time I really thought Brandon Clark looked way too late on that play. That was that little seam pass off the option, and that ball was in the air before Brandon Clark even looked at the quarterback. You can see L. Robinson. He thought he threw a brilliant pass there, and they weren't in communication that time. What are you doing? What are you doing? Both guys are asking what's going on here.
Second down.
I like Roberson. I think he's going to be a good college quarterback.
He's a tough hombre. Still going. Touchdown, Roberson. He's already a good quarterback. With a run like that, he's put him back in the game. 37 yards. And it was all desire by the quarterback from Baytown, Texas, a sophomore.
The option play. This time both safeties so aggressive, overrun it. Watch Williams and watch Everidge, 7 and 38. They're both going to overrun it. They cut up inside. Whoops, where's those two All-American safeties? Goes through them twice into the end zone.
Extra point is added. They won't go away, folks. Roberson and K-State, just when they look like they're falling out of it, they come back with a rally. Take a look at this effort by the first-year starter. First of all, it was a great fake. The lineman went with it. Then met resistance, carried it on into the end zone, twisting away, and it's 35-21. Timeout. Oklahoma leading Kansas State 35-21. In case you're keeping track of the all-everything linebacker for Oklahoma, Rocky Kalmus, 7 tackles here today, and it's been tough going against this K-State option. They have now run for 164 yards compared with Oklahoma's 27 yards rushing. Savage. Can he do it this way? Penalty flag is down. There's yellow flags all over the place.
On the kicking team, holding on the receiving team. Re-kick.
So ABC Sports presentation of college football brought to you by Chevy Trucks, the most dependable, longest-lasting trucks on the road. Original Coors, nothing beats an original. And Pacific Life, annuities, insurance, investments. Discover the power of Pacific Life. So they'll come back and do it all over again here. With Oklahoma leading K-State 35-21. They have led it all the way. And we see that Gary's alma mater is in trouble. 21-17, Purdue trailing at Minnesota. And Alabama putting it on South Carolina. Meanwhile, Northwestern clinging to that lead against Michigan State.
No problem. Drew Brees will bring them back in the fourth quarter. No problem.
Timeout. He's out there with the unbeaten San Diego Chargers, who will play in a preview of the AFC Championship tomorrow against Cincinnati. Who would have thunk it? Fielded again by Savage.
They got great coverage.
And another penalty flag is down. Like lightning, OU scores. But Stoops says, hey, man, let's score as quickly as we can. That's what we're trying to do here.
Well, Bobby doesn't care much about them.
My feeling's always been you can't score fast enough. The name of the game is to put points on the board and to limit people. And you get more freedom sometimes as a defense when you have a big lead to do some things and play a little more aggressively or conservatively to win the football game.
And he learned at the knee of Steve Spurrier. Just keep chucking it down there. Touchdowns, touchdowns.
They've got no choice. Kansas State has challenged them. And I'll tell you right now with Nate Hibble, the way he was rocked, you got to continue to rock him. He's like a fighter. You put him down once, you got to go at him and keep going at him with that blitz.
Here he comes. They're lining up in that shotgun.
Here he comes.
They'll hand it off, and they jumped the run that time with that blitz. Thomas Houchin out of Sanger, Texas, a sophomore defensive end.
I picked up a little key on Kansas State here. Anytime John McGraw lines up inside, he has the potential to blitz. Anytime he lines up outside and number 2, Deron Tyler, lines up inside, they play a combo coverage. I'm sure the Oklahoma coaches have seen the same tendency. Now watch, McGraw comes outside. Right here, they'll play a combo. They won't blitz.
Second down, and the key is, does Hibble read it?
See, he called an audible expecting the blitz.
And he uses the timeout. They shifted on him in the front as he was running through the plays, and then the clock started to come down as he changed it, so they'll have to call a timeout. We remind everybody that tomorrow, ABC Sports travels to Indianapolis. Michael Schumacher, the winningest driver in Formula One history, back to defend his title at the SAP US Grand Prix tomorrow, live from the Brickyard at 1:30 Eastern, right here on ABC.
Nate Hibble was in a battle in spring and in fall with Jason White, the sophomore. Hibble won the job. When we talked to Mark Mangino and Chuck Long, they said, we're going to go with him now. We're not going to keep switching quarterbacks on this thing. There he is, number 18. He's the number 2 quarterback. He's seen this blitz all day. He knows if he goes in there, he better be loose.
Well, a reminder that at the conclusion of the game, we'll select a Chevrolet Player of the Game from each team. Chevrolet makes a $1,000 contribution to each university's General Scholarship Fund. We've got 5:07 left in the third. 35-21. Sooners over Kansas State. Seems like we started yesterday.
Hey, if you don't like a 4-hour football game like this, you don't like football, right? Because this is a good football game, boy.
Texas A&M and Notre Dame ready to start, among others, with 5:07 to go.
Here's the combo look again. Inside, he's not coming. They'll run combo.
Four-man rush. They can't get there. And intercepted in center field. McGraw off the combo look. The second turnover. Kansas Kansas State with a scoring opportunity on the pick by McGraw.
Misread. He thought he had man-to-man coverage. He did not account for the safety. When McGraw lines up out here, he's dropping back and playing combo, and they come across Nate Hibble, who got rocked. He might not have his full senses. McGraw goes deep. Misread, tries to throw the thing deep, gets burnt on it by Fagan cutting off his route.
What a huge drive as that interception came after an Oklahoma timeout. Inside the red zone. Roberson keeps it again, going for the end zone, but this time they bring him down on the 7. Roy Williams won't let him reach the end zone. And Roberson, 20 carries here today for 102 yards rushing against this OU defense. He also has thrown for 131 yards, so he is keeping K-State right in it.
When Air Force was running the option against Oklahoma in the opening in their game, we did. Oklahoma zeroed in on it, but there's just enough play action, just enough pass, just enough power, just enough balance to keep that option being good.
Just enough Josh Scobie, number 1. He's been a fine player today. Here he comes again. Inside the 5-yard line, that's a 1st and goal. Lehman credited with the tackle, but here's a 1st and goal for K-State. Down by 2 scores, they can close into with 7 with a touchdown and an extra point.
That was power football. Lead with the fullback, pull the guard around and stick it right in between the guard and the tackle on the left side of the line.
You talk about an excited sideline. When you see Kansas State if they bust this one in. This has been a hang-tough team here today, but they need this touchdown right now. Not gonna get it. Great hit by Williams. Man, 38 came in there and closed it down.
Josh Scobie took himself out on that play. That's what forced the quarterback keeper call by Ron Hudson and Bill Snyder.
So here with 3:35 to go in the 3rd. Kansas State threatening to cut the OU lead in half. Now it is 2nd down and goal. Scobie stuffed. Cannot reach it, and Teddy Lehman, the sophomore from Fort Gibson, moves in on the hit.
Same play they scored on. Put the man in motion. Scobie sees it inside. He could have bounced out. He has the option to go outside on play. He spun down inside the 1-yard line.
Brent Venables and Mike Stoops watching from the OU sideline. Joe Hall is in the game. Big Joe Hall in the K-State. Touchdown, Kansas State. So K-State bucks it straight ahead with Roberson. Look how calm the man is over there on the sideline. Already thinking ahead now. He's still, even if he gets the extra point, he's going to be down 7. We got a player down in the end zone, an injured player.
Is it Matt Martin? Yes, it is. Matt Martin, left tackle.
Big Matt Martin. 6'5", 270 out of Huntington Beach, California.
This is the #1 rushing team in the country, averaging over 300 yards a game. Last 5 games last year and the 2 games this year, they've been on a 245 mark. Since Scobie has taken off, this offensive line has found themselves as a running, tough offensive line.
Blocked. A blocked extra point. It looms huge. Instead of 7, it's an 8 as the extra point is blocked. So to tie the game, K-State needs a touchdown and a 2-point conversion.
These are supposed to be automatic.
Watch and see if Kalmus comes in on the block.
It was.
Rocky Kalmus. Folks, that's a defensive candidate for a Heisman Trophy when you look at plays like that. coming up big. So Roberson scores for the third time here today.
Quarterback
22-37, and now 1 yard out. He's carried 22 times for 109 yards and 3 touchdowns.
Nice push up front. Steve Washington. The option play has changed the football game. Hibble, I'm still looking. He took a rock. He missed a read on the last play. Let's keep a close eye on Nate Hibble.
Kansas State knows that the high percentage handoff is to try and put it in Quentin Griffin's hands now. Remember, they jumped it on first down as Hibble on the sideline. He was rocked on a touchdown pass. We've got 3:18 to go in the third. And the 3-yard line is Savage again. To the 24-yard line. Jack, what's the injury situation?
Well, Brent, let me update you. I talked to Scott Anderson, OU's head athletic trainer, first about Nate Hibble and his condition. Said he had his bell rung, no major concussion. They're going to let him continue to be the quarterback out there and the signal caller, but you can see he's a little bit more lethargic than before. A tough break on defense, however, for the Sooners. Jimmy Wilkerson has come up with severe cramping. He was not in there during that touchdown drive. They are still working on it. And Gary, you know, once you get cramps, they don't go away.
Yeah, Wilkerson sitting over there being tended to. It's an 8-point advantage.
Combo look.
Here comes Hibble. And almost intercepted. That was Newman.
Hey, he's getting rocked. He's getting rocked inside, too.
The backup quarterback is Jason White, a sophomore from Tuttle, Oklahoma, in case they have to relieve Hibble.
That time it was Justin Montgomery, number 92, defensive tackle. Combo coverage. Nate Hibble's not reading it quite as well. Little stunt. Gets hit, knocked down. Didn't look vicious, but once you get your bell rung once, you're like a fighter. You're just not right.
Second down and 10. One play perfect and not going anyplace because number 2, Deron Tyler, is there along with Houchin. So a reminder, Monday Night Football, 9 Eastern time. Again in New York City. The New York Jets hosting the San Francisco 49ers here on ABC. This will be a 3rd and 15 coming up for the Sooners.
Well, we'll see what Phil Bennett wants to do now. Will he blitz on 3rd and long and trust his defensive backs to stop it one-on-one, or does he sit back? We will see. Looks like he's coming. He's coming right into your screen right here.
Now Lieber pulls back out. They twist on the right side. They zone. They fake him. Juggled incomplete. And Oklahoma forced a punt.
Josh Norman dropped it. A perfect throw. First down, and Josh Norman drops it.
That's the second pass that Norman's dropped today. Jeff Ferguson. He's got the best of Lockett so far today. But Lockett looking for field position this time. He's got it at the 32. And a penalty flag is thrown on the play.
I think Bobby Walker had a block in the back that time on that punt return.
Illegal block in the back on the receiving team. It's a 10-yard penalty. 1st and 10, Kansas State.
So let's check in with John Saunders in New York. John?
Grant here in the Coors Light update. Out to the Big Ten, Purdue and Minnesota. Travis Cole, 3 yards to Ron Johnson for the touchdown. Minnesota We go up 28-17. Purdue, though, has just punched one in, so it's another close one in the Big Ten. Meanwhile, Nebraska, they're winning this one, but not with their usual huge lead over Missouri.
Yeah, John, that's closer than expected. And here, Kansas State down by 8 points. Roberson getting time and a bad pass intended for Brandon Clark. So Roberson on the day, 5 of 20 for 131 yards, but he has run for 109 yards and 3 touchdowns. Now facing a 2nd and 10. Nation's longest winning streak, 16, trying to hold on before the snap. And that would be the 10th penalty against Kansas State here today.
Absolutely.
Prior to the snap, false start on the offense, it'll be a 5-yard penalty and remain 2nd down.
You can't shift in motion in the same move. You have to be set for a second. That's a quarterback mistake. You have to shift them and then lift the heel and put them in motion. Al Roberson, still a young quarterback, has to iron those things out and be a general on the field.
Now it becomes a 2nd and 15.
Scobie is out. 3 wide receivers in the game.
Pump fake back to the middle to Clark coming underneath. But that's short of the first down because Rocky Kalmus is patrolling that part of the real estate.
Nice block downfield by Eby this time. Everidge, watch him come up and read it, and watch the offensive lineman, number 64, Eby, get the hit on the safety. Right there, here it comes. Gets the hit, gets him flying, and picks up 6 yards.
Needing 9 yards. Roberson has time. Good for the first down to the 44-yard line. Puts it in the hands of Aaron Lockett.
Offensive line, give yourself a pat on the back. Blitz by Oklahoma this time, and look at the protection. Blitz is coming from the outside over here. Teddy Lehman's coming. Look at this protection. Nobody on the quarterback. Wait all day. He had about 4 seconds to throw that ball. Offensive line did a tremendous job that time.
21 yards, and that is Lockett's first catch of this game. His first catch. Now 1st and 10. Final seconds of the 3rd quarter. Roberson keeps it, slips, and Lehman hanging on. Boy, is he a tough runner as a quarterback.
He slipped Brandon Everidge, too. The best tackler in the secondary, and Roberson just slipped him coming down on the option.
So the final seconds tick away in the 3rd quarter. Hang on, everybody. This is going to be a great one. As Kansas State rallies behind number 3, L. Roberson. The team simply would not quit. And now they're back in it, trailing by 8. Timeout. The line score, Oklahoma opened up a 14-point lead in the 1st quarter. Kansas State cut that in half. Oklahoma scored again. Still Kansas State stayed with them. Then it was 28-14 at the half. Then after Oklahoma scored, then K-State rallied for 2 touchdowns and a blocked extra point by Rocky Kalmus. And that's how we got here to this situation. What breeze is left, and as Gary Danielson pointed out a little bit earlier, not quite as brisk as it was earlier today, would be at K-State's back as they come to midfield right now with a 2nd and 4 for Coach Snyder to start the final 15 minutes here, Gary.
Well, I talked about what the game solutions, what would decide this game. I said it would be quarterbacks You see the quarterback stats between the two. Roberson has had a big game running the ball. Hibble, big plays, not great percentage. Tailbacks. Neither tailback has been a story. I said the tailbacks had to help these inexperienced quarterbacks. And kicking game. And Brent, the kicking game mistakes have gone against Kansas State. They're fighting uphill. Remember, the fake punt for a touchdown, the block extra points.
But now who will make the big plays in the final 15 minutes? Second down for K-State. Penalty flag is thrown as Rock breaks his way inside the 40-yard line, but the penalty flag thrown by the umpire in the middle of that play, and you know what that probably means.
Holding.
Yep.
On the offense, see a 10-yard penalty from the previous spot. Replay second down.
Well, at least they got it right. It's not from where the holding was, it's the previous spot.
11 penalties, 84 yards for Kansas State. Been a big part of this football game. Remember, they've had a touchdown called back. They had a first down on the pass interference call. Might not have been a great call, but it is a factor in this game. There you see the stats. 11 for 84, and that doesn't even count the positive yards on the other side of that equation.
Snyder's offense ready to go. Second down and 14.
We're at second and 14.
They're going to have to hurry. They've got only 5 seconds left on this clock. I don't know if Roberson knows it. He didn't. He didn't know it. Now, our Pacific Life game summary, and it features 2 huge plays in this game. Watch here as Hibble is rocked on a touchdown pass by Houchin. Shaken up on the play. The other one, after K-State scored, Rocky Kalmus, the All-American linebacker, breaks through to block an extra point. That's why the margin is 8 rather than 7. Hibble over on the sideline with his helmet up, standing up now, second down and 19 for Kansas State. And Kansas State with 12 penalties with Kalmus ready to tee it up again. Roberson's going to try to throw. He's got room. Throws underneath. He had a man wide open further down the field. Oh, he missed Clark. He hit the underneath man. I think Warren was blotting out the sun. He couldn't see him down the field.
Well, Brandon Clark was open for a big play. It's hard to yell at your quarterback when he does a nice play and picks up positive yards. But if his eyes would have looked deep to short on a scramble, which is what you're taught to do, look deep to short, you would have seen this guy go way across. The quarterback is being chased for his life. It's a nice play by Roberson, but look at how open he is. There's the touchdown. If you throw it there, he takes the easy one.
But he gives himself a chance for a first down. But he bounces the third down pass, and I'm sure Snyder will punt it here at midfield. You're not going to gamble here with 13 minutes to go, down by 8.
I think that pass route confused El Roberson on that one. He thought the receiver was going to stop quicker than that, and that's why he short-armed it.
Here's Travis Brown.
Deep for the Sooners, Curtis Fagan.
Fagan back deep.
I'm sorry.
Fagan's got it at the 15, dances, slashes, 30, 35, and out to the 39-yard line before Rock Cartwright makes the tackle. OU up by 8. Timeout. What's interesting is Oklahoma's had only 1 first down in the second half, and that's the touchdown. You count touchdowns as first downs in college football, and you can see on their last 2, they've given it right back. Now let's see what Hibble can come up with here at the 13-minute mark, leading it by 8. It's a 4-man rush. Incomplete. Intended receiver is Clayton. And Jack, what's the latest on Hibble?
Well, Brent, as Gary said, it reminds me a lot of watching like a heavyweight fighter as he's been decked, and he spent a lot of time. In fact, that quarter break and the extended offensive run by the Wildcats allowed Nate Hibble to go off by himself. He didn't talk to his teammates, stayed on the fringes, kept trying to shake things off. He looks as if maybe he's gained a little bit back, but he still isn't quite as snappy, Gary, as he was before that hit.
All right, well, we're going to see a snap blitz right here.
Second down and 10, and here come the Wildcats. They got him at the 26. The sandwich closes in. Lieber credited with the sack, and Houchin was right there too. That big fella, number 94, is playing himself a football game along with Lieber. Let me tell you something. Houchin's been hard to block in this game.
And he tipped the pass beforehand, but here was the this again. You're going to bring the linebacker. Houchin comes to the outside because McGraw, 38, is coming inside. When the safety comes, the line is turning the guy outside free. They're blocking the safety now, but you can't block everyone. And I'm very surprised Oklahoma doesn't have a read on this safety blitz because it's very obvious when they're coming. This time, let's see where it's coming from. Could be a zone look. This is the zone look.
3rd and 21. Deep middle, tight end turns. Penalty flag. It was caught by the wideout, Fagan, who was coming in toward the tight end. Fagan grabs it, and there is a penalty flag thrown.
On both sides. There's one on the quarterback and on the pass. Could be tacked on if it's roughing the passer.
So Hibble is rocked.
He's still
there's
rocking.
No question about what that penalty is going to be. And this one, too, could be interference down here.
Houchin gets him again, I believe, just as he let the ball go. Kansas State sat back on a zone to the wide side and man-to-man to the short side.
Pass interference on the offense. Personal foul, roughing the passer on the defense. Penalties offset, 3rd down.
Coming from the left side of your screen, Houchin, number 94, will get there just as, oh, hey, that was a stunt right up the middle that time. And here's the offensive pass interference. Let's watch. I did not see it. Bottom of your screen, Fagans, does he shove off? They're fighting arm to arm, arm to arm. Oh, that one, you got to let that one go. That's good receiving right there.
So that negates a 34-yard gain on 3rd and 21.
And it was big because they got another hit on Hibble. Another hit, and they didn't have to pay for it. Free shot on the quarterback.
So here's 3rd and 21 again. Let's see what Bennett wants to do with the defense this time. They show that zone look that Gary's been talking about.
Zone to the big field, man-to-man to the bottom.
Wide side, intercepted, picked off by Terrence Newman.
He's a good one. I think Oklahoma has to look at putting Jason White into the football game. Here's the free safety. Here's the one-on-one. You got a free safety. You can gamble to the outside. You got the free safety standing there. Anything in the middle. You got to the outside, and boy, does Newman know how to play football. Cuts him off with the body, reaches up and makes the catch.
He has intercepted 2 passes today, the Big 12 sprint champion. He's had a catch-up tackle. And Hibble and the Sooners are very concerned about what's unfolding here in Norman. Plenty of time left for the Wildcats. They trail it by 8. And how big is that blocked extra point by Rocky Kalmus right now? K-State needs a touchdown and a 2-point conversion to tie it. Snyder's offense growing up before our eyes with L. Roberson.
Which way does Kansas State run the option? Oh, look at this. A shift
Roberson's out of the backfield. He's over as a wide out. It'll be a direct snap. And Scobie straight ahead. On the ground, I think he's down. He's down. He's down. The official right away saw it. There was no question about that one. Well, let's check in on the Spartans and the Wildcats. John, you got good news here, partner?
I got good news for some people, Brent, but those people didn't go to Northwestern. Charles Rogers takes this one, goes 64 yards in the punt return. Great speed when he busts it loose. 20-17, Michigan State with the lead. Sorry, Brent.
John, I heard Mike Gottfried say that Rogers is the best receiver in the country. Man, is he fast. Drop pass. The ball in and out of the hands of Brandon Moore, the linebacker. He had a pick that time and let it get away, Gary.
Hell, Roberson's got a strong arm. It's a good thing he does, because Brandon, that is not Roberson's game. The short passing attack is not his game. Play action. Throwing downfield, but this one, look at that guy, cut right inside. Oh! He caught that one out before he even had a chance to catch it.
Here's your 3rd down and 6. Rock Cartwright's going nowhere. K-State forced to punt again, and it is the Oklahoma defense that is shutting down right now. That's Teddy Lehman again.
That was a big stop. 2nd down call is what really cost Kansas State. And then those linebackers, Teddy Lehman and Rocky Kalmus. Brandon Moore made the play before. Really took that space and closed it up. Didn't like that series. Trick play on 1st down, hitch on 2nd down. I thought the option should have been called.
Sometimes you can outsmart yourself. Fagan's back. Inside the 15, coverage man is there. Out of bounds. Did not get back to the 20-yard line. So we'll take a break. 10:26 to go. OU 35, K-State 27. Timeout. Owen Field, Norman, Oklahoma. Just down the highway from Oklahoma City. Sellout crowd, the defending national champions here. And for those of you, we will be bringing you these games as soon as we finish here. Meanwhile, we'll keep you up to date if there's scoring in those 3 games. John Saunders, of course, back in New York. Now the Sooners, Hibble, they get Griffin some daylight. Newman's there. Newman goes down low. What a great tackle by the corner.
How about an option play for Oklahoma? They've been getting that inside blitz. This is a good call by Mark Mangino. I'll bet this wasn't in the game plan. This was a halftime adjustment. Come out, pitch it out, and Newman is the only guy on the whole side of the field. Good football player. Make an easy tackle, tough tackle, look easy. Excuse me.
If he misses, Gary, yes, it's hello inside.
Look at the blitz has forced Oklahoma to keep 2 backs in the backfield almost the whole 2nd half.
Now 2nd down. Pop high. It'll depend on the spot, folks. They hit the pop pass to the tight end Smith. Proctor was there defensively, and Hibble straightening up the tongue on his shoe as we check in with Jack.
Well, Brent, I know sometimes you hear coaches give cliches and try to just say something to get people wound up, but Bob Stoops came to his team, his offense, and used all the cliches that were possible. But he ended it all by simply saying, look, this is the series where you get the opportunity to step up and show folks why you are champions.
And Smith gets him a 1st down here, Jack. So they've got possession with 9:32 to go. I'll tell you what, it'd be big. I mean, real big for OU. Is a Duncan field goal right now, up by 8. Obviously, they'd like a touchdown, but they'd love to march this thing down the field and get at least 3. Get them out of that one score that can tie it. Toss. By Terry Pierce, number 56 from Fort Worth. Oh, baby, what a tackle.
Big 12 newcomer of the year a year ago. Did not play a lot in this football game because Oklahoma likes to use 4 and 5 wide receivers. But now when you go 2 backs, you get Kansas State's good linebackers on the field. Here it is, 2nd and long. Off goes Pierce. Kansas State loves it when Oklahoma goes 2 backs because they get their playmaking linebackers on the field. Is this the blitz look? Yes, it is. Let's see if it holds up. There he is, right there, inside.
Here they come. He'll lob it. Got one-on-one. And there's a penalty on the corner. Number 21, DeMarcus Fagans, with pass interference, and that's the automatic first down.
Kansas State has forced Oklahoma into throwing fade passes. They can't pick up the protection. They don't have a mobile quarterback. They're stuck just looping it out there.
On the defense, the foul occurred more than 15 yards from the previous spot. Be marked off from the previous spot. 15-yard penalty, 1st and 10.
This one was pretty easy. Ball was thrown short. That's usually what happens on a short throw on those fades. The corner just runs right over the receiver.
One of the things that's happening for Oklahoma in this game is the fact that Antoine Savage is starting to separate himself from some of these other wideouts. Number 6 has had a monstrous day. He's gone 63 and 75 yards. That was him again, and he was giving Fagans all he could handle. So number 6 is the go-to guy here today. Play fake. Beats the linebacker, but he'll have to take it out of bounds.
Man, oh man. Kansas State is real athletic up front. They lost a lot of players from last year's defense. Only 3 starters returned, but they just keep reloading on that defense with young, fresh talent.
That'll be 2nd down and 10, and the way they signal in plays at Oklahoma, they have a live quarterback signaling, and then they have a dummy down there. Hibble has the sign from the sideline.
No blitz here, combo coverage.
And he wants a timeout. So Hibble will take a timeout, leading by 8, facing a 2nd and 10. Timeout. Jack Arute, Gary Danielson, I'm Brent Musburger. The final 8:16 of regulation. Oklahoma, 16-game winning streak. The defending national champions lead Kansas State by 8. And they come up for 2nd and 10. 12 men on the field, but this time he sprints off before the snap. Pump fake Hibble. Now lobs it wide open is Savage. And there's a penalty flag thrown. Touchdown Oklahoma, but there is a penalty flag.
I think he stepped out of bounds, Brent. I think Savage stepped out of bounds, came back in the field, and he can't get the ball.
That's why he was so wide open.
Yes, that's a nice way to do it.
He was hiding behind Mangino,
now,
and then he crept back in.
Now you see everybody is saying he got shoved out of bounds. That'll be a question right here that the officials will take probably a minute to decide.
Yeah, we have had a lot of huddles.
But this is an important one right
here. Illegal touching on the offense. The receiver went out of bounds and was the first person to touch the ball. The penalty is simply a loss of down, 3rd down.
You see the official with his hat off. It's going to come down here. There's so many people on the sideline, you can't quite see it. Tried to get the ball to Griffin right here. That's stopped. There's Teddy Lehman right there. Receiver was obviously not pushed out of bounds. He's standing right there. He must have stepped on it right there, but he clearly wasn't pushed out of bounds. Hibble finds Savage D. Well, let's hope the official was right on that call. 3rd and 10.
I honestly don't see how he could have missed it.
Right. If he missed that one, that's bad. Right.
3rd down and 10. Blitz in the teeth. Norman incomplete. Penalty flag comes late. Oh, the field judge threw it late against Tyler.
Wow.
Tyler's pleading his case to the wrong official.
Was that ball even catchable? Again, the blitz. Houchin comes in and hits Hibble as he lets it go. Oklahoma has adjusted to pick up McGraw, but now they're turning Houchin loose every time.
Oh, K-State is livid.
Oh, yeah.
And justifiably so. This is a terrible call.
And the calls, that's 13 penalties.
Pass interference on the defense. The ball occurred more than 15 yards from the previous spot. It'll be a 15-yard penalty from the previous spot and an automatic first down.
Teron Tyler, number 2. Right here. Let's see it. Coming down, he's chasing. Oh, he grabbed him by his jersey. He grabbed him by his jersey. Does the ball fall in the field? That's a good call. That's a good call.
Apologies to the zebra.
That's a good call. Teron Tyler did not have patience. He grabbed the receiver and it cost him.
My fault, Mr. Referee.
You know, Brett, though, you ask a lot for those corners to cover man-to-man all game. They're going to make some mistakes. You got to live with it as a coach.
And Oklahoma will take their 4th first down by penalty. 1st and 10. Blitz. Got it off again. Complete. And we'll remind you that ABC Sports presentation of college football brought to you by Cadillac, the fusion of design and technology. Sears. Only Sears has the brand you want at the prices you need. Sears, where else? And Williams, leading energy solutions. 7:55 on the clock. And Oklahoma moving ever so closer down there to the goal line. This is a must-stop series as far as K-State is concerned.
Or more important, as you pointed out, in the field goal range, or just as important, field goal.
2nd down and 6. Reach back, and they have found the tight end here on this drive. This is Smith again, reaching out for the first down. If he got the spot, it's going to be very close.
Nate Hibble has shown his team great adjustment by the Oklahoma coaches. They are sliding their line to block the blitz, and they're going one-on-one with Trent Smith against the strong safety. They found a pressure point that they can at least take advantage of. Let's see if Phil Bennett and Kansas State will change up.
So 3rd and short, and Hibble takes it right straight ahead. Bucking behind the center for a first down. 7:32 to go now.
It's a huge drive.
This has been a great crowd today. They have really stayed in it, haven't they? Not a seat to be found in a house. In Kansas State, which travels so well, the end zone to my right is just loaded with purple.
Here's the tight end.
Short of the 30-yard line that time with Griffin. Tackle made by Henry Bryant.
They will not give Griffin any space, will they?
No, they haven't given it all day, have they? And they've held him to 27 yards.
They refuse to get beat. They refuse to get beat by that guy right there. They still say, you're going to beat me with someone else. Now it's been the tight end. Let's see if they go back there. The tight end always goes right in this offense.
2nd down and 7, and Trent Smith is to the right. Griffin out of bounds, short of the first down. They're working in underneath, keeping the clock going. Mangino and Chuck Long now trying to tick off some seconds as they slowly come down the field. No need for a big scoring strike here. They'd like to take it in increments. Run as much time off this clock as they can. 6:22 to go. And K-State will huddle up on that far side. Bennett must talk to his troops. Critical 3rd down coming up. Timeout. Mangino with a 3rd down play for Hibble. He's been in communication upstairs with Chuck Long. And they've set the play here. Need a yard. Leading it by 8. 6:22 left in the 4th quarter. They line up in a throwing formation.
Here they come, boys.
Couldn't draw him off. Didn't get him Nobody to jump. Resets. Quick pop. Right at that mark for the first down. The linesman with the spot right there. And they put it back in Smith's hands, the tight end.
You know how much I like in college football the tight end. That can really change the game. It forces those safeties to play pass coverage. They don't like to do it. Brilliant counter move by Oklahoma. It took them a while, but they finally found something to counter that blitz. Nate Hibble wants to know why we didn't find it sooner.
Smith with 3 catches on this drive. There's that pitch to Griffin. They want him isolated on the corner. And Newman again is equal to the task, out of bounds. We check in with John Saunders in New York. John.
Brent, a wild one where he went to school. Northwestern had taken the lead on a Kustok touchdown pass on the kickoff. Herb Haygood busted outside and takes off 84 yards for the touchdown. Michigan State back on top, 27-24, seconds remaining in the game.
There's a special teamers within you. Second down, 9 yards to go. Michigan State. Wouldn't that be great for them after beating Notre Dame last week? Now Hibble on second down. He throws complete, and that's Curtis Fagan. So just moving it down, bringing time off the clock. A brilliant drive.
Quick passes, slants, tight end. You can see it. Nate Hibble's got his wits about him again. Even smiled during that last TV timeout.
They are well within field goal range. And if you wanted to point to a play that was critical, it was the interference call that kept this drive percolating. Inside of 4:30. What a great time-consuming drive when they needed it. High! Incomplete. It'll be second down. Right, check that now. That will be 4th coming up, and here comes Duncan. Got a little behind myself there. So here comes Duncan to make it an 11-point game, and they have left Kansas State 4:22. And folks, if you ever needed a blocked field goal, K-State's going to be coming now. That was a 13-play drive for OU.
Longest drive of the game for either team.
And here it is. Chips it in. 33-yarder. It's an 11-point game. And it puts K-State behind the 8 ball. They need 2 scores to get back in it. And again, the key moment in that drive was the back judge. Picked up interference.
And actually, that little highlight was the play of that drive. You're right. 3rd down, would have been forced to punt the ball. Little holding on the jersey, and it was the correct call.
Now the Sooner Schooner would love to roll right into Dallas tonight. I'll tell you who's happy to see a hard, tough game and see Hibble rocked a few times would be the Longhorns. When you went inside the coach's main conference room here at Oklahoma, and they had all the media guides from the Big 12 stacked up. Folks, guess which one was on top? That's right, Texas. And here this week up in Oklahoma City, they got all the Bevo barbecues are playing. Can you imagine that? Why, that's sacrilege down there on the other side of the river. Have a Bevo barbecue. How can they do that? So Dallas, here they come. You can't beat the Battle of the Red River, huh? It's going to be a beauty. Lockett says, hang on, I'd like to get us right back in this. Here it comes. Dances. Best return, and there's a penalty flag down. What else is new? We've had 20 penalties already. Man, we've had a lot of that. Uh-oh. That's Antoine Savage, folks. That's been OU's player of the game. And he's injured. He has gone 63 and 75 yards for touchdowns, and he's thrown a 33-yarder for a score, and he limps off here late in the game. Jack Arute.
Well, Brent, after that field goal drive engineered by Nate Hibble, you would think that Nate might have gone to his offensive line or to his backfield. Instead, he ran off the field, and he sought out Rocky Calmus. Now, all I could do is read his lips, and it looked to me like he said to Rocky, "It's your turn."
So Rocky and his Warriors are out there, Jack. Is on the ground, his knee was down. That ball is dead. You can get away with that in the NFL, but not on Saturdays.
That was a flea flicker.
Sure.
That was a flea flicker. First down call.
No, that was a bad flea flicker.
Nothing worse than a bad flea flicker.
There's nothing worse. There's nothing in the world.
Another kind of gimmick call. Kansas State has moved away from the option, trying to hit a big play because of the 11 points.
K-State has hung tough. High marks for the heart they've shown, but they've made a lot of big mistakes. And they hit Lockett at the 25-yard line.
It was Ricky Lloyd.
Wave it off,
yeah,
and that was Lloyd that was in the game. Oh, Ricky Lloyd. Let me check that. I saw that too, and I thought Lockett was working in there. So this will be 3rd down and 3. Trying to keep it alive inside of 3 minutes for Snyder. A little confusion on the personnel.
They only got 10 men in the game. Might only have 9. I know they don't have 11.
I can say this. I have never seen a Bill Snyder team make this many mental mistakes, folks. Let us check in with John Saunders in New York.
Brent, this is just a wild Saturday of college football, including in the SEC. Phil Petty here, 7 yards for Rod Trafford. And USC, South Carolina comes back after the extra point. Keep in mind, Alabama missed an extra point in that game. That's the difference right now. And Michigan State against Northwestern. Northwestern just kicked a field goal after Michigan State had missed an extra point. As a result, they win. And now 3-0 for the first time to start a season since '62.
Oh,
John, an instant classic, and we missed it. How can that be, my friend?
The magic continues in Evanston.
And meanwhile, Purdue and Minnesota have gone to overtime. And that game up in the Dome. Here we've still got 2:47 before this one's over, with OU leading by 11 points right now. And everywhere you go these days, you see American pride. And I just want to send along the best to all the troops. The ones that are already there and the ones that are going, ladies and gentlemen. They're going to stand up for all of us. 2:47 now, another flag on the ground. My goodness.
Substitution infraction on the defense. It'll be a 5-yard penalty.
So those are the games that some of you will be seeing, and a lot of goose eggs up there, so you haven't missed a whole lot yet. And A&M strikes first. It's going to be tough for a quarterback in his first start in that arena. Did I hear somebody say that the Irish had never, ever started 0-3?
I don't know, but if they'd have played Purdue, they might be there already.
Is that right? George Hill, my stats man, said that's right.
Well, Roberson has to throw the ball now. Drop back, throw the ball. They don't have time.
And he hits him at the 37. There's Clark, who's had a busy day. And
go no huddle. Go no huddle. 2-minute drill. You need 2 scores. Obviously, you got to get in and out of the huddle and call the plays.
Clark with a 120-yard day. Roberson dropped that one. And I think he may have heard number 20 coming. Mr. Calmus was closing in on that one. And That's some hot breath when number 20 closes in on you right there. So here's 3rd down, and Oklahoma hopes to extend its winning streak to 17, longest in the nation. And they'll put it on the line if it holds up again next week against Texas. Kansas State has a big game with Colorado next week. Gary Barnett's team. And the wide receiver jumped. So that's a penalty against Kansas State, and that's the 16th of the day against the Wildcats.
Prior to the snap, false start on the offense. It'll be a 5-yard penalty and remain 3rd down.
That time, L. Roberson kind of rocked back, thinking the thing was on 1. It was on 2, and it drew his own guy, his receiver, off.
Third down and 10. It'll be tough to deal with the rest of the way. This Kansas State team is going to get better and better because the quarterback is going to get better and better with experience. Want to do that underneath screen, incomplete, and they come down to what could be their last play of the game. Each team with a timeout left.
Gonna have to gamble and throw the ball in the seams on this play. Either over the middle or in the seams.
At the marker, 1st down.
Protection.
Lloyd again.
L. Roberson's got a strong arm. When
Yes,
he
he
sets
does.
up and guns it like that, he can really get it there in a hurry.
He's thrown for over 200 yards. He's rushed for another 100 yards. He's the K-State player of this game. He's scored 3 touchdowns for him. And despite all the bad things early in the game, he hung in and got better and better. It's been a nice show for L. Roberson. Back again. Deep center field, got a man, touchdown, touchdown, Kansas State, Ricky Lloyd. Hello, onside kick, his baby's not over. 57 yards for a score.
Kansas State has to go for 2. Brandon Everidge, the free safety, did not play the ball. Right down the middle of the field right there, a perfect throw. Lloyd runs a sprint. Here's Everidge. What are you doing? Get over there. There's nobody even on the other side of the field. Good tackler, but did not play good pass coverage on that one.
Good play call by Hudson up in the booth. Those safeties look and run and over to the side. Man.
I like the option. I like the option call here. Well, it doesn't look like it, though, does it?
Done that Scobie. He's got Cartwright tight. Trips to the right. Nick Warren, the tight end to the left, unless they run Roberson, and he pulled out too fast.
Yeah, made a mistake.
There's a penalty against Kansas State.
Again, same
That's
penalty.
the 17th penalty against him.
How about this? 17 penalties. They've had a touchdown
Prior
on
to
the punt.
snap, false start on the offense. A 5-yard penalty. 5 for point.
Think about that. 17 penalties, a touchdown called back, a punt for a touchdown for Oklahoma, and they're still in this football game.
The difference is 5, and I got folks on both sides of this one. Pulling for the 2.
Gotta go
Pulling
for
the
2.
defense.
You gotta go for 2.
Oh, yeah.
Gotta go for 2.
A lot of guys are up yelling about this one, ladies and
Who's
gentlemen.
yelling? This is a no-brainer.
Oh, yeah. Here we go now. Back from the 8. Roberson fires. Got a man. Yes. And it's a 3-point lead as Aaron Lockett makes the catch in the end zone. And there's still a ton of time. There's 2 minutes left. Do you go to the onside? You got to with 1 timeout.
Well, they only have
right?
1 timeout.
You got to go for the onside.
Beautifully designed play. Yes, you do have to go for the onside kick. Lockett, drop back right here. Lockett to the right side is just going to swing out to the outside. Runs a flat and up to the corner, and a perfect throw again from Roberson. He gets his right, then his left foot in. Perfect throw, perfect execution.
What's that
Lockett swings out and up, a pick to the outside, really. And that's what made it get open.
Yep, sure did. What's that talk radio, that sports show in Oklahoma City I listened to driving down? They entertained me. The animal?
The animal.
The animal guaranteed me that Oklahoma was going to win this by double digits, all those guys.
You don't need the animal. You just called it a monster. This is a monster.
Oh, my. Top of the hour. We've had 4 hours of fun and games down here. Jack and Gary will head on down to Dallas. I may go in there a little bit early and go on out to the fair this week. So Antoine Savage, we are told, is checking back into the game. Remember, he was shaken up. That's a great sign for OU fans to have him back out there. He's been the big play guy today.
Right, and he's positioned to be the guy that should catch the ball on this play.
So the hands people are out there, folks. They work on this every week. Savage may be gimpy, but he's trying to position himself where it's headed. Got to travel 10 yards. Looking to wrap it up. And he takes it deep instead.
What?
Takes it inside the 5-yard line. So K-State elects to seal Oklahoma up inside the 20 and see if they can kill 152. Boy, oh boy, this is a big gamble now because you got Quentin Griffin back there in the backfield. Snyder's left with one timeout.
Well, Oklahoma does not have an offensive design that can run the ball. But one timeout only. That means if they get the ball back, it will be with 30 seconds to go in the game. 30 to 45 seconds to go in the game.
My design would be number 22, right? And here he comes. They've held him. You can see it under 2 yards a carry. They've been all over him in this game.
You have to run the ball.
You're going to give it to him. You're not going to risk an interception down here. And there he comes. Nothing doing. K-State knew it as well as you did. Tank Reese, number 30. JUCO. Grew up in Auburndale, Florida. He's played a fine game down there in the middle. 5'11". He's wrestled away with the new center, Vince Carter, throughout this game. Time running now inside of 1:30, and they're just running the clock on down now. There's 15 left in the play clock.
Kansas State will get the ball back.
Unless OU gets a first down.
That's right. But I say they'll get the ball back.
You get a first down, they'll turn the lights out. Here's the toss. Can't get turned. Can't get the shoulders squared up. But he stayed inbounds.
They'll take a timeout.
And that will be their last one at the 1:03 mark. Now, let me tell you something, folks. They're going to go all out for a punt block in this situation. That could be a huge play. Snyder's team got one. Do we have time to check in with John Saunders in New York? Let's do that.
Just to update, Notre Dame and Texas A&M underway. Derek Farmer, 31 yards, a nice move right there, and then barely touched on his way to the end zone. A&M out in front in a hurry against Notre Dame, who could be going to 0-3 for the first time in school history. Plenty of time left. Brent.
Yeah, there it is, John. Repeating that stat. First time in school history. The unbelievable. Well, here's our Chevrolet players of the game. No surprise. L. Roberson, 3 touchdowns. He's really stood tall. And of course, Antoine Savage. What a game he's had. Caught 2 touchdown passes, thrown for 1. And in recognition of their effort, Chevrolet will make a $1,000 contribution to each university's general scholarship fund.
Brent, it's not a lock that you have to go for the punt block either, because after the punt, you're going to get the ball at midfield. I think Bill Snyder has made a better call than you and I on this thing. They're going to get the ball back. Well, I got to be honest.
Well, what about just have Ferguson go take a safety, make this a 1-point game, and then kick it from the 20-yard line?
But then a field goal beats you. I don't know if you can do that as a coach. I think you got to at least play that you tie.
Well, the wheels are spinning, folks, on both sides. A game that's laced with strategy.
Have to run the ball here.
Dibble checking that sideline. They can't make a miscue on the snap. He just keeps it. He's inside the 10-yard line, and it's 4th down. Can't stop it now.
And they have
K-State's out of timeouts.
They have not started the 25-second clock yet. It's still going. It's still going. They haven't started it. They're not ready. See, this is where I like the NFL rule better.
I agree.
Because the referee is so real. Now they started it. So there'll be 10 seconds to go.
Let's see what Jeff Ferguson does now. He's a clutch punter.
I think Bob Stoops wants a delay of game. They're going to go for a safety. He wants a delay of game.
They're going to run to the side of the end zone. Now they used their last timeout.
Good strategy.
With 13 seconds
Good
to go.
strategy.
I still think they needed the onside kick. They'll be arguing that far into next week.
Well,
you know, I could be wrong.
You're right. I tell you what, I thought they'd onside kick. But I got to give Bill Snyder credit. They're going to get the ball back. It might be post-safety. Let me ask you, would you take the safety?
And me, I'd take the safety.
I think I would too.
Because I can't risk a blocked punt rolling in the end zone for a touchdown.
I run Ferguson, or I put a good athlete back there. Maybe somebody other than Ferguson run around back there and try to kill another 5 seconds on the safety.
Their kick coverage, Oklahoma's, has been so outstanding today. I'd let them come downfield.
I think it's a no-brainer. You take the safety. With this much time. If it was 30 seconds, I wouldn't do it. But right now, I'd do it.
Just go back in that end zone and play a little keep away back there. Jeff Ferguson, he's my leader for the Ray Guy. What a job he did against Florida State in that Orange Bowl last year. The unsung hero. He took a safety in that one. Here he comes.
Every team practices this play.
Can you imagine how fast his heart is beating right now?
I think you got to take a safety.
Can you believe that?
You can't punt the ball to Lock, and he'll get it on the 40-yard line.
Well, also, they could possibly come block one in there and get it free. I mean, I certainly don't think so, but let's see what happens here. Need a good snap.
More solid. More solid.
Yep, here we go. He's going for the safety. With 7 seconds on the clock, it's a one-point game, and they'll come out to the 20, and there's a penalty flag
on Oklahoma. They were holding. It's a good call. It's a good call. You're taught to hold on that play.
Sure.
It's a no-brainer. You buy as much time as you want. If Kansas State wants to do it again, you do it again.
Holding on the offense. The hold occurred in the end zone. That's a safety.
Yep.
The result of the play is a safety. Therefore, the ball will be on the 20-yard line.
Yep. Perfect strategy. Well-coached team. Every team practices it. It's exactly what you do.
I thought you didn't want him to take the safety earlier.
What? With 30 seconds. I'll tell you what. Now you get second-guessed as a coach. Well, you get second-guessed. I mean, it's the way it is.
Well,
it's just the way it is.
Hold on now. There was some first guessing in this one, too.
I know. We both
there
wanted
were some
the
people who said, let's go to the onside kick.
We both wanted the onside kick.
Yeah.
The clock, in college football, the way the referee sets it in for play, takes a 40-second clock like the NFL and turns it sometimes into a 50-second clock, because by the time you get the play done, sort out the guys, turn around, stop the clock, it just takes forever. Let's just say we got our money's worth.
Oh, yeah. So the fans, they got a doubleheader.
A lot of positives from both sides. Oklahoma found a quarterback they could believe in. Roberson showed he can be the guy. Both defenses, especially Kansas State's defense, was unbelievable. Phil Bennett, the former Oklahoma coach, came up with a brilliant game plan.
So they're going to use Duncan. You know, you have the choice. You can punt it from here, but Duncan figures to get more distance. And the coverage team will come on down. You can watch for the Ruski, perhaps, and he slices it on the ground.
What's he doing?
7 seconds. There's a penalty. Oh, my. Stoops saying,
what are you doing?
What exactly was that?
That ball should be straight down the middle of the field.
Yeah, Mr. Stoops is telling him you got to wail away on that one.
Well, 7 seconds left. How about this one? Now Stoops, I think, sending everybody back to the end zone.
I'll tell you what Stoops said. Knock it down. That's what he said.
Out of bounds. Kansas State has elected the option of taking the ball at the out-of-bounds spot, which is the 40-yard line, 1st and 10.
And no time went off the clock.
They've got 60 yards.
You could pick up 20 yards and still have a second left to kick the field goal.
Well, we'll see about that one.
You could throw a completion to the 35-yard line and still have time.
They've got to get it out of bounds fast down there. Roberson must throw a bullet. Everidge way back in center field. You'd think that Barry Bonds was coming to the plate. Everidge is back there on the 27. 7 ticks of the clock. OU's lead is only 1 point. Roberson fires. And that'll do it. Oklahoma extends its winning streak to 17 straight. But, folks, it did not come easy. Kansas State came in here and played them right down to the wire.
The Big Ben play right down the outside. Roberson buys time. I thought they should have thrown the ball to the outside and got one more play. This would not even have gotten into the end zone. They could have had 2 plays, I thought.
So once again, 38-37, Sooners win at ABC Sports Online at ESPN.com, keyword ABC Sports. Stay tuned for more college football regional action. So long, everybody. The Sooners win again.